$2,100. That's 3 months of groceries. $2,100. That's the tax increase John Ossoff supported. Ambitious and liberal, Ossoff voted with National Democrats to gut your child tax credit. He even voted for higher taxes on Social Security recipients earning under $75,000. A $2,100 tax increase on Georgia families? John Ossoff doesn't care about people like us. Tell Senator Ossoff to stop voting for higher taxes.
I like your castle. I like your dress. Oh, wait here.
Sweetie, it's late. Time for bed.
You better clean up!
Before Mom gets home.
Mommy, what is this?
How did you find that? No way!
Oh, hi everybody, welcome back to another Space-tastic stream. My name is Antonio Strasser, captain of Prisplin Space Mafia VTuber. Today is August 18th, 2026, and we're back. So let me, okay. Let me just preface this, okay? First of all, we're medicated. Huzzah. Love to see it. I have been wanting another killing game. I've been, since I finished Your Turn to Die, or at least finished what's out currently, I wanted to do something. I wanted to play. I'm in the mood, I'm in the mood right now. I've been wanting to play another killing game. Because I cannot get enough of these. I really can't. They're so much fun. The stories are always very interesting. And many of you guys may know the last time that we played a Danganronpa, which, if you don't know, is basically a fan-made Danganronpa game, of which there are many. We played Project Eden's Garden, which was very good. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff happened with the team that was making it. A lot of, essay allegations, I guess you could say, within certain members of the team, certain people covering it up. Not great stuff. And eventually, after a couple of weeks, I think it was decided that they just were going to stop making the game, which, understood. I was pretty bummed about that. I totally understand the decision, but since then there has been a Danganronpa sized hole in my Danganronpa sized heart. And I have been searching for a potential replacement. And that has led me to Danganronpa. I don't know a lot about this game. I saw, a little bit, some gameplay online, and it looked really solid. So I figured, you know what, let's give it a shot. I don't know really what to expect going into this. I don't know if this will be a multi-part stream or multi-part stream series. Really, I don't know. But I just figured, it's been a minute. We're waiting for Danganronpa 2x2 with bated breath, which is supposed to come out next year. So maybe this will get us, keep us a bit satiated. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I don't really know much about it. I have heard that it's a little bit shorter than traditional Danganronpa. There's a smaller cast. But that's really all that I know. I've also heard that it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of a twist. I don't know what that is. So we're in this together. If you have no idea what this is, we're together. We'll hold hands. So let's go, I guess. Notice the mini menu is located at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Aisusu, the heart of a man is very much like the sea. It has its storms, it has its tides, and in its depths it has pearls too. Vincent Van Gogh, okay? Hmm? What is that sound? Okay, okay. But look at work, Suja. Ooh, look at this. It's a hotel room? What's going on? Good luck, Suja. Open my heavy eyelids to an unfamiliar room. Oh, guess I was asleep, but where am I? This isn't my room. Turn my head to the right to see a small old-fashioned alarm clock on the nightstand. The time read 7:30. 7:30 in the morning or evening? Reach over to stop. Damn, if that ain't a big mood. Reached over to stop the alarm, and suddenly I felt a dull pain in the back of my head. I sat up from the bed to rub my head and shut off the alarm. The pain subsided quickly, and it was then did I fully take in my surroundings. I found myself in a comfortable room. Soft lighting rested against the warm-colored walls. The furniture was devoid of any dust or dirt, and the bed itself was extremely plush. An unassuming painting hung just above my head. I scooted from the center of the bed, kicked my feet out from under the covers, and began perusing the room of its amenities: a roomy closet, a small writing desk in the corner, and a single bathroom. It was overall a rather luxurious room without seeming overly elegant in its design. The room is comfortable enough, but how on earth did I get here? Am I imagining this? I hope I didn't hit my head. Went to the bathroom, turned the cold tap, and let my cupped hands fill with crisp water before splashing my face. Oh, look at me. Chills snapped my senses awake as I took a moment to collect myself. Well, as far as I can tell, at least I'm in one piece. One piece? Noticed my everyday coat was on a hanger behind me. I pulled the coat on and adjusted myself. Wouldn't hurt to recall the basics. My name is Echo Pine. Right, okay. Very, very OC name. I'm a student at Calm Mind Institute. Are you, is this a Pokemon fan? Coming toward the end of my final year. Best friend is Ashley. Last thing I remember was seeing my best friend Ashley off for the day as she went to take care of her horses. My horse girl best friend, Ashley. Wonder if she made it home alright. I admit it, I was a little less thorough in making sure she had made it into her house that late afternoon, but I'm sure she's alright. Or, I hope. I racked my brain thinking about that evening. Alright, thanks for the lift. Be careful with your ankle. Can't believe you insisted on driving even though it's sprained. It's no problem at all. Besides, my ankle is almost done healing, so it's no big deal. It's not like I drive with that foot anyway. I'm just worried since I can't walk you to the door. I wanted to see if Applejack was in a petting mood tonight. Okay, girl. Isn't that a My Little Pony? Oof. My house is right there. You don't need to worry. Whoa. Computer's freaking out. And if she is, I'll make sure to give that kitty a good scratching for you. Oh, it's a cat? Alright, thanks. Night, Ash. Good night, Echo. I left the car in park and watched as Ashley crossed the lawn. Mind putting any more strain on my left ankle, still recovering from a sprain. Remained vigilant. The porch light wasn't on, so as she got closer to the house, she faded into the evening shadows. Waited a few more minutes until I heard her front door close. Click. Okay, time to get back. shifted back into drive and let the wheels crawl before accelerating. Accelerate! Who made that song?
Accelerate. Accelerate.
One of the worst songs I've ever heard. Upon my slow graze across the gravel, I didn't see her living room light turn on. I was worried, but I was certain I heard her front door close. Am I really certain, though? Uh-oh. Nothing. Suddenly a darkness welled up inside me. Was I in this strange unknown remote location because I didn't make sure my friend was safe in her home? That would be absurd. Those two things can't be linked together just because I was less cautious than usual. I combed through the room once more and realized I didn't have any of my personal possessions on hand or in the room itself. No phone to call Ashley to make sure she's okay. Sure, there was an ancient landline service phone in the room, but I didn't know where I was to begin with. I started to panic. I had to get out of here. I got so caught up in both my head and an unprovoked fear that I threw the door open with full force, nearly hitting the person just outside. That person just happened to be... Well, watch it, Ash. Oh, Echo? Strange. Very friend I thought I suffered a consequence for not making sure they made it home safe was standing right in front of me for some inexplicable reason. You're okay. Ashley Westbridge, a dear old friend of mine. She's what some people would call a horse girl, which seems like a vague thing to call someone who just happens to tend equines? That irreverent thought aside. Yeah, of course I'm okay. But what about you? You're pale as a ghost. I just got a little worked up is all. I woke up in this unknown place. I woke up in a new Bugatti. I thought it was because I didn't see your lights go on in your house before I drove off. Rattled off the thoughts that stirred my fears just moments ago. Echo, it's okay. You don't have to worry about a thing. I made it home to take care of Hyperion all in one place. I was just a little tired is all, so I went straight to the stables behind the house and took the back door entrance. Sorry I worried you. Ashley wrapped me in a big familiar hug and I immediately felt calm. She's definitely gonna die. Thanks, Ash. I know I shouldn't get worked up about stuff like that, but sometimes I can't help it. You know, one thought led to another and I just jumped to the worst possible conclusion. Oh, Echo, you needn't fret too much. Fret so much, you'll make yourself sick with worry. However, I can totally understand where your worry might come from, especially in this scenario. Yeah, just where are we? Yes, that is the question. My mind and heart at ease, I discussed the situation with Ashley. I told her that I woke up not long ago, thanks to the provided alarm clock, and her experience was just the same. She too felt the dull pain of a lingering headache upon awakening. She too felt a brief moment of confusion due to the unknown setting. Couldn't find any of my possessions in the room. I tried to find my room to call you, but no luck. I don't have anything of note in my room either. I don't have any of my things with me like my satchel or phone. It's odd though. There aren't any answers to the obvious questions like how did we get here, where are my things, etc. I strangely feel comfortable here. I think it might be that super plush bed. Not gonna lie, I'd really like that back home. We laughed among ourselves and decided to explore what seemed to be some sort of mansion. I still felt uneasy, but thanks to seeing a familiar face, I felt safer. Really, really chill. All things considered. Let me see something. Let's see if I can use my controller. I think I can. I Closed my room door behind me. Noticing there was a plaque that was adorned with the symbol of my high school. And further down the hall, the various other door plaques shared the same features. I spotted Ashley's right away as well. It seems her room was just adjacent to mine across the hall. Looks like there are other students here as well, other plaques with school emblems, I'm assuming. Seems that way, although I haven't ran into anyone yet. Not literally like you, of course. Very funny. The whole interior was all very ornate, with dark wood lining the walls, and candle sconces lighting the path. The dark wood floor was covered in a thick woven rug that created a path toward an opening in the hallway. I can hear some others down the hall. They took the lead as we curiously walked through the hall, taking in the ambience as we gazed at the miscellaneous paintings of nature that hung on the wall. Sounds of lively conversation grew louder as we approached the connecting room. Whoa. Pretty bougie. Sure enough, there were 3 other people having a lively chat in the foyer. Hey you two, who's this cutie? Good of you to make it. I was wondering how many other people were going to come around. You could just count how many doors with plaques there are in the living quarters hallway. Nah, I'm not attentive enough for something like that. I'll just figure it out from how many of you I meet up with. You're awfully carefree, aren't you? Yeah, it's because I have good company with you lovely folks. Aw, come on, what's with the cold shoulders? I'm just here to have a good time. The person with the hat continued preoccupying his present less than willing company in this lively conversation. Quietly took in the atmosphere of the foyer before approaching the group. The main clearing was huge. Featured a shiny white marble floor extending into 2 spiraling staircases on either side of its circular walls. An elevator resided in the center of the wall opposite from the front door. A beautiful grand chandelier hung from the center of a marbled ceiling just above a modest table at ground level. Yeah, I can see most of this. The wooden table itself was rather bare, only containing a decorative flower vase and a very polite note printed on premium-grade cardstock. Thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Please make your welcome official by signing and utilizing the bracelets that have been provided. Simply tap the bracelet to the digital kiosk that is located at the foot of the stairs. I lifted my left wrist to see the bracelet in question. It was a light, simple thing, a rose gold plate with my name on it, strung into the bracelet with a small chain of the same color. I hadn't even noticed it until now. Ashley was admiring hers just as I did. The bracelet hung on her right wrist, just above her own wood cuff bracelet. I looked over at the other students' wrists as well, and they all had the same thing, albeit presumably with their own names. What was the purpose of these things anyway? Rather than get absorbed in wondering about the small decoration, I decided to join in small conversation. Hello there, have you 3 already scanned your bracelets? Oh my god, somebody keeps fucking up the door. Yes, we all convened here just a few minutes ago. I'd recommend you scan your bracelets on the kiosk as well. And it grants access to rooms after the welcome. Oh, well then don't mind if I do. Everybody's being really chill. Went over the aforementioned kiosk that was nested strangely within a luxurious decor. The kiosk displayed a simple map of the first floor layout by default. The foyer had led to 4 locations: the living quarters, the dining hall, the study, and the theater. I held up my wrist close to the screen and it quickly detected my bracelet, displaying a sparse summary of information, my name, and a profile picture. Kinda reminds me of Shinobu from OnStars. Thank you for signing in. You may now roam the first floor freely. The bracelet corresponds to your room and your room alone. They are paramount to keeping your personal room and its belongings safe. Please take care of it. Please make yourself comfortable with all the given accommodations, and once again, welcome. The screen went to the original math screen as it was before I scanned my bracelet. I stepped aside to let Ashley sign in as well, and in the meantime got to introducing myself to the other students. Hey there, I'm Echo Pine, and this is my friend Ashley Westbridge. Nice to meet you all. Likewise, I'm Arturo Campapiano, but just Art is fine. Missy Vesper, the pleasure is all mine. Kanan Ota. You all met before? That would be a negative. Nothing like making new friends though, right? Kanan said nothing, instead letting out a loud sigh with absolutely no subtlety in hiding her annoyance toward Art's enthusiasm. I see. That said, you mentioned you two were acquainted? Oh, yeah, we were pen pals the summer before high school started, and we just became close over time. That's quite endearing. Oh, thank you? I didn't expect that kind of answer from Missy. Maybe she's the type to secretly cry at romantic movies? What the fuck does that mean? Well, if we're all signed in, why don't we visit the dining hall? I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel teas in order after waking up. I'm in favor of that idea. I'd like to explore afterwards as well. Yeah, I wonder who else we're gonna run into. This is exciting. As he walked briskly towards the dining hall, which was just opposite of the living quarters hall, where we entered the foyer. Arts followed quickly, after which just left Kanan back in the giant clearing. I'll explore at my own pace, thank you. Oh, okay. Suppose we'll... Sorry, I skipped ahead too quickly. Oh wait, log. I suppose we'll see you later? With a curt and definitive statement, Kanan made her case stating that she was going to stay put in the foyer. Ashley and I followed the other two into the dining hall, leaving Kanan to her business. Excuse me. The dining hall was rather small and intimate. A single long woodcraft table and modest chandeliers created the centerpiece. A black marble fireplace with a natural painting hanging just above decorated the far wall. The table's setting bore 16 chairs, 14 on each side and 2 on the heads of the table. The table was already decorated with light accessories, candelabra, small vases of flowers, and an encyclopedia about ships. The room itself was connected to a small kitchen, one with the usual kitchen staple appliances, an oven, refrigerator, large dishwasher sink, a gas range, and all of the utensils and tools one might need. I feel like they're doing a lot of Hell Don't Show. A small storehouse pantry was off to the side with nothing of readily edible interest to the common person. Wow, this place is super loaded, huh? Art made a beeline for the 2 side rooms, poking in and out of the dining hall, between the pantry and the kitchen. Missy, on the other hand, gazed slowly around the dining hall itself. It's a very fine setting, but not so much that it feels oppressively high-end. Yep, everything looks to be in order for a good meal. Art finally stopped pacing around and sat at one of the seats, kicking his feet up on the table as he looked around the room. Missy noticeably shook her head at the action. But, where is everyone? This place seats like a bunch of people, but there are only 5 of us. I wonder if no one else woke up yet. Maybe others ignored their alarms? Some people like to sleep in and all. I approached the natural painting above the fireplace, admiring the soft colors and brushwork. As I stood in front of it, the painting faded out to reveal what looked to be an emblem. Following the display of the emblem screen, an announcement came from overhead speakers within the room, the voice silvery and modulated. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely stay. Feel free to utilize the kitchen to your heart's content. If you are unable to, you may use the automated cook feature by tapping your bracelet onto the kitchen's digital kiosk and selecting a meal. Or if neither of those suit your particular interests or tastes, you may consult your group's ultimate level kitchen hand. The emblem disappeared, returning the screen to its initial artwork display. What did that mean? What's an ultimate level kitchen hand? I turned to ask one of the other students, but it looked like Art had already figured it out. Rather, figured something out. Whatever he started going on about next made no sense to me. Oh, I get it. This is the safe house a private group provided for us since we signed up for the preservation project. Huh? You signed up to be here? Yeah, of course. If I guessed correctly, we all seem to be ultimate students. There's some serious ultimate vibes in this room, don't you think? Yes, that seems to be the case. What's an ultimate student? Don't tell me you don't know. Oh man, what are you even doing here? Ultimate students are typically high school students with super excelled in their field of expertise. They are often scouted by groups with various intentions, virtuous or nefarious. They will often have a focused set of skills that makes their abilities desirable to certain people and with good reason. If there's a talent you can think of, there's probably an ultimate student out there that'll knock your socks off with amazingness. You're saying everyone here is super talented? You're kidding, right? You've been walking around this whole time with Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey, and you didn't even know? Ultimate jockey. Huh? Ultimate jockey? I don't really talk about my talent outside my usual day-to-day. I've heard of Ashley Westbridge's accomplishments. She can wrangle just about any horse and ride them to victory. It's quite impressive to be able to tame such creatures in any variety nonetheless. However, I read that you excel best with your main partner, Hyperion, a Pinto Trakener. Oh my, I didn't realize my achievements were so widely regarded. It's a little embarrassing hearing others remark upon them. Wow, even so. I looked over to Ashley, who, despite the sudden grandeur, looked as modest as ever. However, I just thought you were a typical horse girl. I don't know whether to find that humbling or insulting to my talent. So Ashley had the title of Ultimate Jockey, huh? Curious to know what that implied. I never knew her to be particularly eccentric when it came to her lifestyle at the stables. For how long during our friendship did she have that title? Is this implying that we don't have one? I guess it was kind of the same for like the protagonists in the real Danganronpa games for the most part. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Hajime didn't know if he had one, if I remember correctly. Or was it Makoto? I feel like one of them didn't know. Maybe it was both, I don't remember. What's up, Kosei? You can't trust horse girls. I know. Yeah, I feel like anytime there's like a best friend in one of these games, like a childhood friend, I mean, they're probably gonna die. Or they're gonna kill somebody. Enough about me. What about you two? I admit I can't really put a talent to either of your names. This newfound knowledge of the situation, I was curious to learn about the other students here. Alright. Let's hear about you. Beauty with a wolf cut. Your name is Art, right? I ask what your talent is? Sure, I'm the ultimate golfer? Okay, sure. I guess the hat. Makes sense. I would have guessed he was like a repair guy. Maybe it's just like the attire. I'm the ultimate golfer. I'll never miss my mark. Total holes in one all day, every day. Wow, how did you manage that? I don't know. Can't stand having to put more energy into extra strokes, so I make the first and last one count. What kind of reasoning was that to become a pro golfer? An interesting way to go about it. I can't even imagine being able to control a club like that. Took a lot of practice for sure. Used to golf a lot with my grandpa. It was all in good fun back in the day, so I guess I never really thought about it as work, you know? I've flubbed a few times, sure, but who hasn't? Art seems to have taken a lot of pride with his title. It's admirable. Those individual groups or institutions do with the students is beyond me. I've not heard any stories of success or failure for anyone who's had the luxury of being accepted. He's good with the club. In any case, don't take much stock in the title, is all I'm saying. I have to admit, though, I am rather curious at the titles now that the subject has been brought up. That's understandable. I am the ultimate tactician. Like with wars, or what does that mean? No, chess. Tactician, like battle tactics? No, it's more like political campaign tactics and strategies. The less interesting of the two people usually think of. Yeah, I can't legally vote, but I'm trusted with political decisions. Been at the forefront of numerous political campaigns and battles, mainly of which I've been employed to strategize against by opposing forces. Really? Aren't you basically manipulating the winner outcome then? The choice is not mine, but the people's. I simply put the message out, framing it in the most self-beneficial way possible for each side. I think political campaigns can be interesting. Wouldn't Ultimate Campaign Manager be a more appropriate title? I'm not the one who came up with the title. I see. He seems to be a very self-assured person who doesn't seem to care much for the extravagance an ultimate title implies. Such captivating talents. I'd love to watch one of your games, Art. Oh, it's nothing. I bet horse racing is much more interesting. Indeed, your feats of athleticism are quite impressive. Yeah, I admit it's hard to imagine. It's really not such a big deal, Echo. Honestly, the whole ultimate student thing feels a tad blown out of proportion. Sensing Ashley was done with the praise, I shifted the topic. Well, now that we're all acquainted, why don't we look around some more? Looks like there's more to be seen upstairs. Oh, yes. It was a pleasure talking to you, too. Don't be a stranger. We can explore together. Art's echoing voice sounded through the dining hall. Oh, man. The kitchen features are cool. What's this? Clonk. Alright, well, a student already died. On second thought, I might keep an eye on Art for a little. I'm sure he won't mind the company. Alright, we'll see you around. Ashley and I stepped out of the dining hall into the foyer once more. Helen didn't stay for long. The foyer was devoid of her presence. Where to? The stairs going up, but I think we should check out the entirety of this floor first. I was thinking the same. Why don't you pick where we go next? Sure. The other locations are the study and theater. Let's go to the study. Let's go to the study. The study was cramped. Encyclopedias that filled to the ceiling covered an abundance of subjects, ranging anywhere from medical to athletic. There was a small office corner provided for studying the tomes in relative ease. Another digital kiosk stood off to the side, showing a searchable list of books in the study. Ashley observed the kiosk curiously as I gawked at the variety of reading material stuffed in the shelves. Oh wow, this equestrian encyclopedia was published only 2 years ago. I have an old version, so this could be really interesting. You would be excited about it. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? What? Now that you know I'm the ultimate jockey, it all makes sense. No, you're still the same old horse girl I know, but with a fancy title. There are 2 other students taking residence in the library, one meekly hiding in the corner and the other calmly leafing through their book of choice. Whoa! approached the meek student standing in one of the darker corners of the study. Hey there.
Eek.
Sorry to spook you. I was just going around meeting everyone. I'm Echo Pine. I was dragged out of my room by that guy over there. He's evil. Peered over at the aforementioned person who just looked to be calmly inspecting the rows of books. Fine. He didn't drag me out. I ran into him when I was wandering around. I just wanted to be alone in the study. She shot me a troubled glance after admitting her lie. Can you tell me about yourself? Me? I'm Sei Kono. I'm a watchmaker. Would you then by chance be called the ultimate watchmaker? I guess you could say that. I just tinker with watches and stuff. They go for really high prices apparently, but I don't particularly care for the money. That's such a random... Alright, sure. Someone once offered me 3 luxury cars for a single watch. You must have some very well-admired craftsmanship. I guess so, but... can't even drive. What was I going to do with 3 cars? Clammed up and awkwardly turned back around to face the bookshelf corner. I didn't want to pry, so I just left her alone. Who's this cutie? Green-haired student noticed me approaching him and deftly flipped his book shut with one hand, giving me his full attention. Good morning. Immediately felt that attention to be near palpable from his focused gaze alone. Are you finding everything alright? The study has quite a pleasant atmosphere, wouldn't you agree? Oh, yes, it's very well accommodated. The study as well as the rest of the facility are all nicely prepared. Indeed, you could spend days in this well-kept study enriching your mind in regards to whatever subject your heart desires. Does that sound like an inviting prospect? I don't see why not. Occasion for ultimate students should be in peak condition, right? This preservation project situation seems to be equipped for comfort. You're just assuming that's what's going on now, just because one person said it? Ah, so you've been made aware of the preservation project. He hesitated as if chewing meticulously on his next statement. Do you have an ultimate talent? If I'm being honest, I'm not sure I even know what my talent is, considering the situation seems to revolve around it. Everyone I've met so far has some kind of title. I admire your candor. Who knows, you might have some innate skills that you personally think are average. Think so? I feel pretty ordinary, and I've never really been the center of mass attention for anything in particular. The skill might just require a specific habitat, so to speak. Luckily, this appears to be the ideal place and social environment for expanding upon such hidden abilities. However, I wouldn't worry about it. Whatever underlying passion or talent you have is for you and you alone to enjoy. That's reassuring. I feel like I've stumbled into something out of my league with so many skilled students. If you don't mind me asking, what's your ultimate talent? Hard to describe. I'm called the ultimate charisma. Cyrus Surik, by the way. Your last name is just your first name backwards? I'm the ultimate Riz Lord. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Back at you. Pleasure. I didn't understand the implication of his title, but I could feel a sort of alluring presence to him. I suppose that's what charisma is. After meeting with the 2 others in the study, Ashley and I chatted about the other students. So, we met Sei and Cyrus, watchmaker and a charismatic person, respectively. I suppose one could become talented at improving their characteristics if they wanted to. Could be similar to managing a brand, perhaps. Maybe. Regardless, they seem nice enough. Yeah, Sei seems sweet, if not a little shy. Let's go to the theater next. Ashley and I walked across the hallways to our next location, the theater. The theater was something to behold. Although it was a fairly intimate scene with few row seats and a medium-sized stage, it still had an air of elegance thanks to the decor. The rich red velvet curtains glowed underneath the gaze of a bright spotlight. The stage itself was occupied by 3 students who seemed to be having a heated discussion. Whoa! Cuties galore. Do you really want to stand by that theory? Hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking you for not thinking the obvious. Let's settle down, please. Absolutely not. I have no intention of changing my view for this scoundrel. Geez, scoundrel, that's cold. Especially to a stranger. I gotta diversify these voices a little bit. You two don't need to get so heated about something like this. Who the fuck is talking? Important matter between 2 strongly opinionated people. Do we agree on that matter? Maybe I should cut in? Or what's going on here? 3 turn around surprised, presumably from not being able to see me at the unlit foot of the stage. Need you ask such a foolish question? We're discussing the dire and apparently questionable existence of this. White-haired student crouched down to reveal a painting that was turned away from the audience. It was a framed picture of what looked like inkblot art. Oh, I see. You're trying to figure out what the painting is. Yes, what do you see? I don't know. I wasn't paying much attention. I stared at it for a moment, but I looked up at the 2 patiently in all seriousness, waiting for my answer. I'll have to think about it. No immediate answer. Felt his judging eyes pierce my soul. It's a dog. Not everything has to be a dog. It's clearly an elephant. Oh, just a different 4-legged animal? Conversation seemed pretty heated. Might have better luck if I just talk to them individually. I visited the white-haired student on the stage. So, about the painting, I think I do see the elephant. No need to feign understanding. I am quite self-assured that the painter's intention was to illustrate an elephant as abstract as it appears. Stared at the painting. What do y'all think it is? It looks to me like... It looks like almost like a girl with like a ponytail. And she's like resting on her like... He's like talking on a cell phone underneath a really big sword. What's up, my little bouquet? It looks like a gesture over a dead body. Interesting. I'm sure it's supposed to be like somewhat like ubiquitous on purpose. I stared at the painting a little bit longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he claimed was the true subject. I don't see an elephant. I don't know what he's talking about. Despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make out anything within the shapes. So, do you have an eye for this kind of thing? An eye for abstract? A hime, my friend. I am not... I don't know what that means. I'm not an ultimate artist. I'm the ultimate opera singer. Although there is a rhetoric... ramble on and on about something a bit further before stopping himself. Right. But where are my manners? Forte solo. Charmed, I'm sure. Sure. gave a deep bow as he introduced himself, slowly rose and went to look at the painting some more, indicating an end to the conversation. Sure has some interestingly placed dramatic moments. Alright, how about the apron wearing student? Oh, I'm guessing this is gonna be the chef or whatever. The girl who was caught in the middle of the quarrel stepped down from the stage and left the other two to glare at each other in silence. Pandora Esper. Nice to meet you. Likewise, I'm Echo Pine. Echo Pine. I hope we get along. So I was informed that this little group of students is composed of students that have ultimate talents. Do you happen to have a title of some sort? Oh yes. I am known as the Ultimate Baker. Okay. And yourself? About that, I don't seem to know. I don't think I have one, if I'm being honest. That's no matter. I knew you were a fucking loser as soon as I saw you. It doesn't make you any more or less of a person. So what do you think the painting is? I'm not really sure myself, but for something as ambiguous as that, it can only be whatever the viewer wants it to be. Ne sais pas? Sorry, I don't know. I don't know French. I suppose so. Perhaps it isn't the subject of this piece that is most important, but rather, it is the emotions it conveys to the individual. Black and white are quite striking colors to begin with, are they not? There's a lot of symbolism behind those two simple colors. But I can only wonder if the artist behind the piece enjoyed creating it. The art wouldn't have come to life otherwise, so I don't see why not. I agree. Pandora, she's such a warm presence. And not just because she's currently baking a pie as we speak. Do you want some? No. Alright, who's this? Who's this cutie? Is he an idol? Approach a student wearing the fur-lined jacket. So, about the painting, I think I do see the dog. You don't have to lie. I don't care about what it is. In fact, I don't even know what the painting is either, so I made something up. Dog is an easy thing to imagine. It's just a practice of pareidolia. Pareidolia? The act of perceiving a subject or significance where there is no meaningful interpretation. For example, seeing objects in clouds formations, or hearing indistinct voices and random noise. I thought it was just seeing faces. Is it deeper than that? Pareidolia? In this case, seeing a dog in an abstract painting. Dogs are common enough animals, yeah? Who doesn't like to think about dogs? I read the painting for a little bit longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he said it was, even if he did make it up. Despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make out anything within the shapes. Isn't it a little cruel to make something up when he was so intense about it? I just wanted him to explain why he saw what he did, but he truly wouldn't. So much for friendly discussion. Each their own, I suppose. Well, anyway, I'm just going around meeting everyone. I would tell you my talent if I had one. You don't have an ultimate title? Or you can't remember? Seemed to be muttering under his breath about my last statement, but I paid him no mind and waited for his response. I'm Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzle master. Sure. A connoisseur of word puzzles, block puzzles, escape room puzzles, the like. Now, if you don't mind, I'll turn back to the painting, ending our conversation abruptly. Puzzles, huh? Maybe he was trying to unscramble the shapes in that painting. Ashley and I left Forte and Lyle to have their spat in peace. Dora stayed behind, trying still to settle the two down. Sorry, one sec. Forte and Lyle were kind of intense, huh? Forte and Lau were kind of intense, huh? I'll say, I never really had a sharp eye for art, so what they were talking about is beyond me. And Pandora is brave for trying to calm them down. Takes a certain kind of person to want to intervene when things get heated, huh? After wandering around the first floor, Ashley and I paused in the living quarters halfway to gather our thoughts. So those are all the available locations on this floor. I guess the rooms are interesting enough, but more importantly, I wonder just how many other students there are. That other student from earlier, Kanan, just counted the doors, right? Why don't we go check it out? But who knows if there are more students on other floors. There are stairs going up into the foyer, so we could check that area out too. And speaking of Kanan, I wonder what her talent is. Wait, that aside, how did I never know you had a super talent in horse racing? Huh? Well, it just never came up. I knew a lot of people before you who didn't particularly care for how much time I'd spend at the stables and racetrack. I just stopped bringing it up. Besides, it's just easier to tell people I tend to horses. So what does being an ultimate level jockey imply? Does that mean you win a lot? Come on, Echo. I don't want to bore you with superficial numbers. I'll just say my win percentage is 44% and top 3 percentage is 84%. I don't know what that means. I don't know what those numbers are supposed to mean. Anyway, I'm not just a horse girl, I have other pets too. Like donkeys. That's about it. Yeah, like your cat, Applejack. Of course you remember Applejack. How could I not? She clawed up all my school vests. Deep ringing of a school bell rang across the halls, echoing through the building. Then an announcement came over what seemed to be hidden overhead speakers in the ceiling. It's now 9 a.m. The second floor amenities are now open and will stay open until 7 p.m. Second floor. After the announcement, we saw Pandora filter out of one of the first floor rooms and into the halls. Oh, Ashley and Echo, would you like to visit the second floor with me? Sure, we were just wondering about that as well. By the way, did you get anything to eat from the dining hall? Huh? Oh no. What's the name of the otter on your shoulder? His name is Garbanzo. He is a cutie, isn't he? You're such a cutie. Huh? Oh no, I was a little distracted by the whole Ultimate Students thing, and also the fact that there's a lot of cute boys here. You're in luck. I made some croissants earlier. Here, help yourself. She produced 2 items folded in cloth from her apron pocket. I accepted the small cloth-covered delight and unwrapped it carefully, revealing a small bite-sized croissant. A heavenly warm aroma filled the halls. In the fragrance alone, I was enveloped in the comfort of feeling the sun's rays on my skin. What? Ashley and I took one each and bit into the flaky, buttery dough. A piece of chocolate inside melted as soon as it hit my tongue. It was smooth and rich, contrasting the light and sweet crumb of the dough housing it. This is very, like, I feel like I'm reading a fanfic, low-key. Oh, cute. Ask the ultimate baker for you. C'est délicieux. Girl, I didn't know I was speaking French today, alright? Merci. Oh, she's, I guess she is supposed to be French. Merci, but it's nothing at all. I just really enjoy baking. I don't have a French accent, I fear. Oui, oui. The look on people's faces when they smell delectably fresh bread coming out of the oven. The warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you eat your favorite food, such as feeling Such a feeling is priceless. Pandora was right. After eating the croissant, I felt an intense nostalgia for my younger days. Then I started feeling lightheaded. Oh, the croissant was poison. When I would spend summers running around outside, basking in the fresh afternoon sun. That was the power of an ultimate baker's delicacies, to invoke a warmth and sense of familiarity. What a wonderful thing. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I noticed you two are quite close. Have you met before? Echo's my best friend. We've known each other for 4 years now. Ah, Sistress Mimi. A long friendship is something to cherish. Definitely. Echo's always been there for me, even if they are a little worrisome. Oh, am I non-binary? Hey, how could you say that? I'm just looking out for you. I kid, of course. I really appreciate your concern, but you should think about yourself sometimes, too. Pandora smiled sweetly as we had our little back and forth. Sorry, why don't we get going? No worries. Shall we? Three of us walked back down the hallway towards the foyer where the stairs to the second floor were. I'm the ultimate non-binary person! Hey Pandora, did you meet anyone else this morning? Anyone else? I can't say that I have. So far I've only been acquainted with you two, Forte and Lyle. Oh, sorry, I thought you might have run into a few others like we have. Morning I went to the dining hall and then the theater. Unfortunately, Forte and Lyle kept me from going anywhere else with their argument. We didn't see you, then you must have woke up much earlier than us. Huh. That's correct. I suppose you could say my internal clock has been tuned to my habits. Even my day-to-day life. I wake very early to make sure my dough from the night before has properly risen. Prepare any glazes I might need, prep my workstation. Oh, but I must be boring you with my daily routine. No, not at all. It's fascinating, honestly. Here, sweet Echo. Perhaps I will kill you last. Perhaps I'll invite you to help me tomorrow morning. Hope you're awake at 4:30 a.m. Oh, sure. Can't promise I'll be fully awake, though. Pandora laughed lightly in jest as she went on her merry way up the stairs. She then tripped, fell, and died. Ashley and I followed suit, and we were met with another digital kiosk at the top of the staircase. The screen displayed another map, this time on the second floor locations. The atrium, the spa lounge, the climbing center, and the jazz club. Alright, sure. What kind of mansion has a climbing center in it? You been in a lot of mansions? Maybe the owner is an eccentric rock climber? I think the assortment of activities is presented to cater to the unique talents of various students. In fact, the kitchen pantry has a wealth of resources. I was quite surprised to find such fresh and rare ingredients. Imagine other ultimate chefs would be pleased with the selection as well. That's a good point. There was a theater on the first floor after all. Forte and other ultimate performers probably utilized the room as a place to further hone their skills. Preservation project. It seemed like this group wanted to accommodate a myriad of intense and unique students. I wonder what kind of group had the ability to provide such a vast selection of activities and resources. Where to first? I'm curious about the climbing center. This mansion must be huge if it can house something exciting like that here. I'd like to see the spa lounge. It must be a lovely, relaxing place. I want to see the climbing center. I want to see the spa lounge. They proceeded to kill each other. Echo, why don't you decide? But, okay. I'll pick the spa lounge. Let's explore the spa lounge. Inspected the map for a route to the spa and made our way there in no time at all. The spa lounge was serene and welcoming. A shallow pool was laid in into the marble floor. A mesmerizing opalescent ceiling mirrored the pool above it. Damn. Bougie. Several simple relaxation loungers lined the walls for general leisure. Off to the side was a storeroom stocked with a perfumey inventory of scented oils, bath soaks, and skincare products. Just by the storeroom doorway sat a familiar kiosk. You're loving your witty jokes in between reading the lines? Thank you. You come for the redhead with the nice firm bosom. You stay for the witty banter. I feel like it's hard because this is I don't know, like, this is interesting so far. I don't want to say anything like, I'm always hesitant to like be overly critical because like this is like a fan game. This is something that somebody made and it's like, you know, they worked tirelessly for and then put out for free for people to play, which this isn't me saying like I think that this is like bad, right? By no means. I think that this is interesting. I think, but also like I'm very hesitant to be critical by any means because, you know, because of what I said before. But with that being said, I feel like this is definitely not. It's harder with like these fan games a little bit to really get in and like, you know, weave a lot of witty humor into, because I do feel like the style of this is a little different than, you know, traditional Danganronpa. But you know, we're seeing what happens. We're seeing what happens. Hopefully, I mean, we're still in the early parts of this right now, right? So it's like I gotta be. I'm feeling it out. I'm feeling it out. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'd love to spend some time here. Dora sat in one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arms above her head before relaxing her hands on her lap. I guess the assumption a lot of these people are these fellows are having is that like they're here because of like a project, which is I guess how they're kind of explaining it. I don't know. If it were me, I'd be freaking out because like I don't have a talent, you know, or Echo, I guess I should say, doesn't have a talent. Like, how am I supposed to feel like I just woke up in this hotel room and now it's just like everybody's like, oh, it's fine, you'll figure it out. Everybody's just being very supportive. Like, what the fuck? Pandora sat in one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arm. Now that I think about it, are facilities like this meant to be self-run by residing students? Pandora brought up an interesting observation. Kitchen offered fully automated meals, but they still provided the option of having the student utilize the kitchen and tools. Peeking into the storeroom, I saw a separate hallway of individual private rooms labeled for certain services. Facial massage, aromatherapy. Under the belt. Have I told that's right? I remember there was a guy on Grindr that I saw that was like I give all sorts of massages. I'm a masseuse. And like one of his, at the very end of his list of like massages that he said that he gave, like one of them was like under the belt. I was like, is that really a massage? Hey, you might be right. There are all these little specialized rooms with all sorts of specific equipment. You consider my talent in arts, there might be a racetrack or golf course, outside, along with other outdoor recreation talents like angling or skiing. There's no outside!
Perhaps that would be a very exciting prospect.
That could mean all the other facilities and activities have features that are tuned accordingly to certain talents.
Yeah, just from a glance, I figured this study was just a library, but I suppose there are resources there as well that are fitted for talents that require research or writing.
I think such an extraordinary place existed to benefit the many pursuits of equally extraordinary people. So do either of you do anything special to train for being an ultimate student?
Je ne pense pas.
Girl. It is gonna be like a constant thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do, dude. I don't know French.
Oui. Although some could say I bake too much, I simply suspect my pastries have ended up in the right hands for me to be considered.
Oh, wait, how did I do that? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh wait. Does it not work now? I see. Okay.
I don't really do anything special either. I also race quite a bit, but most of my time is spent plainly practicing. Like Pandora, there may have been a scout in the audience. I honestly couldn't say.
I see. Just putting in the hours, so to speak, huh? Put in the work, put in the hours to get what's ours.
What's my motherfucking name? Rock! Perhaps we were just lucky enough to have been selected for this opportunity to meet others cut from the same cloth, right? I couldn't agree more. I'm very charmed to be in such delightful company. Let's make out.
Neither of them seemed to do anything particularly intensive to earn their title. Wonder about the others, whether or not they were trained or if they too were just lucky enough to be selected. After taking a beat to relax in the spa lounge, we made our way to the climbing center next. We met the ultimate climber! Hey guys, I'm the ultimate climber. The climbing center was a vibrant, spacious place. The artificial rock and arch formations that carved the walls reached upwards of what looked to be 3 stories high towards a bright, naturally lit ceiling. Bro, you could never take my ass. Rock climbing, bro. No. I'm not climbing up some fucking rocks. I don't like heights. I guess you're on like a bungee cord. But like you'd be seeing me like wobbling after the 3rd rock. I swear to God. Hell nah, bro. It looks kind of tasty though. The artificial rock and arch formations that carve the walls. I already read this, didn't I? Off to the side was a preparation locker room full of ropes and harnesses, as well as a small vending machine full of energy drinks and water bottles. Do they have Prime? Whoa, this place is huge. I can't imagine how anyone gets up there. By climbing. I craned my neck up, inspecting the array of colorful grips that dotted the sprawling ascending surface. Hanging ropes appeared into the distance of the light. I'm like low-key like looking at like all these rooms. I'm like, alright, how can someone die here? We could maybe hang somebody. Someone could be hung by the little trapezes or whatever.
The world is certainly full of interesting people and talents. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Pandora poked out from under one of the arch formations, just as taken with the incredible height as I was.
That's for sure. I'm an athlete, but I can't say I excel here. I don't really have a good tolerance for heights.
Isn't it kind of high to be up on a horse, though? You don't mind my asking, how did you two discover your talents anyway?
What is this, a fucking interview? Ashley pondered the question for a second. I was raised in the countryside on a farm, so it probably came to me like second nature. As a child, going to the racetrack, my father was honestly just another errand. That is, until he let me ride the horses myself. I felt a love for the exhilarating competition at that point. I was homeschooled by my mothers.
Oh shit, okay.
One a teacher and one a prolific baker. It taught me everything I know about baking. I also cherished the enjoyment people felt when tasting my baked goods. Eventually, I too felt a love for the task at hand. One of my moms was a baker and the other one was a teacher. So, my teacher mom taught me about the baking, while my other baker mom didn't actually do anything. Wow, you two are truly incredible. Blushing emoji. Echo, you're an incredible person too. Don't let labels deter you from speaking to us as anything but your peers, even though you really haven't told us anything about you.
Huh? I don't know about all that.
Yeah, Echo, don't think too much about the title stuff. We're still people, you know.
Don't think too much about the title stuff. Such remarkable feats would be difficult to put aside. They were so humble when talking about their ultimate talents, I wondered if I could ever measure up. Whoa. Whoa. Wandering about to our last destination, we finally came across the Jazz Club. It was a welcoming venue. Warm furniture and lighting gave the room an air of a casual elegance. Table settings for the audience occupied the majority of the space, with a small stage in the corner for the performance. God damn it. My fucking dyslexia, dude. The close proximity between the two made the scene that much more intimate. A small green room was behind the stage curtains, and connected to it was the equipment and instrument storage. The bar opposite the stage had shelves upon shelves of beverages locked behind a sturdy glass case. A pretty classy atmosphere, huh? Wonder how many ultimate talents have toured this room for performances.
2. Many, I'm sure. It's well kept among the rest of the rooms, so it'd be no surprise one would feel comfortable here.
Then a thought crossed my mind. I think I could be some kind of ultimate jazz performer, or ultimate bartender, or ultimate guy who sits in a club.
Have you ever handled an instrument before or mixed beverages?
No, but who knows? Maybe if I pick something up, I'll suddenly be stricken with an ultimate talent revelation and play like a pro. Cyrus said maybe it's an innate trait waiting to be discovered. What, do you not have anything that you're good at? Just occurred to me that perhaps these rooms aren't just for students with existing skills, but they could also be a sandbox for budding talents. Drosera really has to burp.
I suppose there's no harm in trying. Why not? I'd like to see the moment a talent has been realized.
I believe that they supported my odd idea. I felt a strange confidence rising. Cheerfully, I went behind the stage and picked an instrument I thought would suit me. I picked the trumpet. Ashley and Pandora both took a seat in the front row and watched in anticipation. Felt like a kid going through a toy box with how many options there were. How about this cello?
Go for it.
Pandora gleefully cheered me on as I gripped the bow and placed my fingers on the strings across the neck. I laid the bow across the strings. I was nervous, but if what Cyrus told me was true, that my talent was waiting to be discovered, I couldn't wait to realize it. I took a deep breath and drew the bow. And then... the sound I created tore through the air like giant rubber duck. Like a giant rubber duck was being unceremoniously stepped on. It was awful. I saw Ashley and Pandora flinch from the sound, but they still put on a brave face for my sake.
I chuckled nervously and gently placed the instrument back where it originally was. I guess that's not it, huh? I wobbled off the stage and plopped down wearily at the table with Ashley and Pandora. I was beyond embarrassed. Don't despair. You just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Echo. Not just anyone can handle an instrument. I mean, I thought that thing was supposed to be played like a giant guitar. Surprised you even know how to approach holding it. What'd your ultimate talent be? Probably ultimate captain. Ultimate space captain. I'm surprised you even knew how to approach holding it. I've seen performance before, so I just imitated what I saw. That makes sense. What would your ultimate talent be? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And click that bell if you never want to miss a notification for a video. Pandora held my hand in a firm grasp. I see you. Listen, we're going to find out what your talent is. We have to play 100 instruments poorly, at least we'll know we're one step closer to reaching our goal. We're one step closer to the edge. We're about to play an instrument. Pandora reassured me and Ashley gave me a warm smile. Thanks, you two. Come, let's keep exploring. We left the jazz club. Outside the room, we saw a wolf howling. Outside the room, we ran into an unperturbed Cyrus and Lyle in the hallway at the foot of the entryway. They were making out furiously. Hello there. Having a fulfilling time exploring? Yeah, totally. Still felt a little exasperated from the cello mishap, but tried to play it off as best as I could. What's up with you? Don't tell me you're already tired. There's still a lot to explore. Lyle, please. It isn't a race to make ourselves familiar with all different rooms. No, we were actually just about done over here anyway. It's just my luck that the room appeared to be soundproof. Based on their lack of adverse reaction, it seems neither Cyrus nor Lyle heard the disastrous sounds of a cello being poorly utilized. Then the sound of ringing in a voice rang through the speakers. Your attention, please. All students assemble in the second floor atrium for a special welcome ceremony. 5 of us collectively made our way to the requested location, chatting about our discoveries along the way. The end of the second floor hall The end of the second floor hall fed directly into a spacious, airy locale. Natural light poured in from the high glass ceiling, the lush trees that framed the circular lobby reached toward the sky, well past the ring of decorative plants that occupied the first floor. Small shrubbery lined the base of the trees in a circular fashion, following and framing the ellipse shape of the room. A well-maintained living wall lined the first floor's foundation. A bronze globe at the very center of the atrium drew the room together. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Whoa! Familiar, excitable voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Check this place out. Dang, wouldn't it be awesome if they had a mini golf set up in here? How cute would that be? Plenty cute. Yeah, sure, whatever. Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway entrance. I was surprised to see Missy still hanging with Art, along with a timid Say trailing behind them, no less. Slowly our populace gathered in the center of the atrium hall. Kanan and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. I saw the students I had previously met, but afterwards no one else came. Kind of a tiny class, huh? There were 10 of us, including myself. Art whispered the same conversation I made. It's true that our class was rather small, but were we really going to be doing any learning here? I conceded calling a group of students a class was only appropriate. Hologram visual was presented from the centerpiece globe. Familiar voice came in from the overhead speakers. It was the same announcer from earlier in the dining hall. This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you all to your provided safe house. As you are well aware, the safe house has been sequestered off from the growing concerns of disaster. You need not worry any longer of the concerns here. Disaster? I peered across the room to see expressions of affirmation. Everyone seemed to have relating concerns. I knit my brow. As ultimate students, we've provided you with the best amenities and environments to most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may utilize the facilities to the fullest extent during the requisite hours. However, do not think of this simply as a safe house. This location is more than equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourselves with exquisite experiences. Why does my roommate keep texting me? Sorry. You are invited to enjoy yourselves freely. Welcome all to the apothegm? Is the G silent? Awesome! Art audibly pumped his fist into the air. Although no one else displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were vividly talking amongst themselves at the prospect of such a blessing regardless. The projection cut out as the announcement concluded. Students began to wander again, likely to try out what the climbing center and spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but a feeling of uncertainty stirred in the depths of my mind, suffocating my enthusiasm. Did I really belong here? As far as I knew, I wasn't an ultimate student. No intense talents, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety. Hey Echo, I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us? Ashley's voice brought me out of my thoughts. No thanks, you two go on ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from all the running around. I think I'll just take a nap. Ashley looked at me with silent, understanding eyes. Alright then, if you change your mind, you know where to find us. She gave me another quick hug before pairing off with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? I muttered under my breath before sulking off. When's the murdering gonna happen? Jeez. I thought there would be some exposition there. Maybe they're playing the long game, I don't know. I trudged down the stairs back to the first floor foyer. There I saw Kanan in almost the same position she was in when I first met her. She didn't tell me if she had an ultimate title when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either? Thought about approaching her ass, but my throat felt dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in the case she did have an ultimate talent. We turned the corner before Kanan could notice me when click. I heard the sound of a shutter clicking. Turning at the sound, I saw Kanan developing a picture from an instant camera. Huh? How do you have a camera? What do you mean, how? I just thought we were disallowed our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room, and when I asked Ash,
Ugh. She said she didn't have anything in her room either. I'm a photographer. I need my tools, don't I? So are you the ultimate photographer? Kanan didn't reply. She just bowed her head once in a slight nod. And that picture you just took, he reluctantly handed me the developed photo. Photo captured the moment I began to turn down the hall to avoid speaking to her. Thought she had noticed me. This is... I know what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is, because it's not a picture of you, per se. Confused, I stared at the photo longer. I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in composition form called Rückenfigur, which translates literally to back figure in German. I don't expect you to understand. Listlessly handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Khan silently took the photo and stuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with her camera once more. But I admit I didn't make an attempt to sound enthused. In truth, I wasn't. I didn't give a fuck. Khan did have an ultimate talent after all. If that was the case, what was I doing here? Heart and mind were racing. Am I just an anomaly? Is this all a mistake? Did I accidentally take the spot of an actual ultimate student? The spot an actual ultimate student was supposed to take? No way. My voice croaked in desperation. The lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students, those students and their wide-reaching, influential skills. Those students who were dexterous masters of their craft. Those students who had the ultimate charisma, whose charismatic aura reassured my averageness. Those students who created nostalgia-inducing delights. Those students who won races upon race with pure skill. Am I gonna say all of them? Repulsion rose in my stomach. I felt my breath shorten, my chest tighten. I'm the ultimate repulsed person! Suddenly I felt weak. What's wrong with you? You're shaking. I barely heard Kanan. I leapt for the front door. I needed to evacuate myself from the overbearing presence of the people who accomplished near impossible feats at such a young age. I guess they're having, like, imposter syndrome. I was just an insignificant bug who wandered into a lion's den. I don't know if you wandered into there, more so you were placed into it, but I can't compete. I don't belong here. I grasped the door handle so tightly I saw my knuckles turn white. But soon, I only saw black. Now we're talking. I warily opened my eyes. I was in bed back in my personal room. Or so I thought. Forte was reclining in a love seat at the corner of his room, combing over what looked like sheets of music. I was in Forte's room. Gulp! You're awake. He sat the leaflet down before approaching me with an offering of water. I graciously accepted the cup and gathered my thoughts. My right hand was tingling. After gaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte, what happened to me? Curious. That's what I would like to know. Huh? What do you mean? Well, after the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club, but was quickly uninterested in the venue. I went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon, but was promptly stopped at the foot of the stairs by Kanan. She said you collapsed at the foot of the foyer's front doors. Kanan told me to keep an eye on you and quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsed, she did not say. Came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah, I remember now. I was talking to Kanan in the foyer, but I felt a need to escape and was electrocuted when I grabbed the foyer door handle. Electrocuted? Forte was appalled. I, on the other hand, felt nothing. I took another sip of water and closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Wildly fatigued. Forte looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echo, it might not be my place to say, but you shouldn't feel a need to escape. We're all being generously treated with a safe location to relax in, away from danger. Is this gonna be like a Truman Show situation where like everybody else is like in on it? I don't know. No, you don't understand. I don't have an ultimate talent like the rest of you. Drooped in shame, regret, humiliation. I don't have any skills or talents to offer the world. Fell silent again. Be that as it may, you still are a peer who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. Gazed into the water cup blankly. Come, the rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Forte placed a firm hand on my shoulder before offering his hand to help me out of the bed. Oh, I was in his bed? Hell yeah. I complied quietly. The dining hall was fully occupied by our small class. What's interesting is that they said they made a statement to say there were 16 chairs, which is typically the amount that you would expect in Danganronpa of students, but yet there's only 10, right? So is it possible that 4 have already died? Hey, there you are. Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's heads to turn. Ashley and Pandora quickly ran to my side. What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please. Allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. The rest of the class paused their dinner as Forte helped me to an open seat by Ashley. Kanan wasn't at the table, rather she was standing next to the entryway. She must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a pork cutlet meal before me. Ashley wouldn't stop fretting in concerns to your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decide to come down. This is just what I need. This is just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. Missy shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn a small grin. She seemed satisfied with having pleased me. I gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. Our little community had dinner together. Conversation lightly touched on everyone's mutual awareness of the preservation project. It was a project in which ultimate students who signed up would be placed under protective custody to preserve their skills to benefit the future. Similar stories of talent discovery arose. Certain students grew up in an environment where all they knew was that particular skill, but they still rose to super excel beyond wildest expectations. I, of course, had no place in the dialogue. I paid no specific attention to the chatter, my mind going blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate talents came up. I think we need therapy. We all finished our meals. Missy and Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes as everyone else restlessly waited to hear what had happened to me.
Echo, you have no idea how worried I was. I was moderately worried.
Ashley was holding my hand tightly. Ash.
If you're feeling up to it, would you mind talking about what happened?
I glanced over at Kanan next to the entryway. Her face was an iron mask. Well, I was feeling tired from running around the mansion exploring, so after the welcome announcement in the second floor atrium, I decided to go back to my personal room for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. I wanted to go outside, so naturally I grabbed the door handle, but was electrocuted by it. Forte found me collapsed and carried me back to his room to rest.
You were electrocuted by the door handle?
Perhaps we should investigate.
What, and get electrocuted ourselves?
Of course not. I simply want to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms.
We should also check the floor maps again to see if there are any other similar rigged exits.
Sorry, man. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why. I've been feeling like certain fonts
make me feel more dyslexic. Maybe I'm tired. I don't know what the deal is. Um, and what would this accomplish? Ensure our safety so that nothing like this happens again. But our safety as ultimate students in the Preservation Project's safe house has already been compromised by the existence of such a trap. The group fell silent. Cyrus was right. It seemed as if it seems as if we had already fallen into some kind of trap the moment we woke. So we're just going to do nothing? Kanan's indifferent voice broke the silence. Kanan's right. We shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We ought to investigate, if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm. The group agreed and went their separate ways to search for clues. Before they could get very far, an announcement rang in. Now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Seems like we'll just have to suspend the investigation until tomorrow. It's no use in wandering about aimlessly in the dark. I suggest you all rest up. I realize the situation is dire, but please do your best to save your energy for tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for breakfast and discussion. Eesh, some first day, huh? One by one, everyone filtered out the dining hall, low, concerned murmurs filling the corridors. Ashley stopped me back in the dining hall as the last few left. Oops. Look, Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent. Huh? How did you know? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught. I'm your best friend, that's why I didn't tell you a very crucial part about me. Although it was kind of, I mean, given that I was always talking about my horses, it seemed kind of obvious. It's after that special welcome announcement I noticed you were off. It must have been difficult feeling like you don't belong. It must be difficult feeling like a big loser. I admit, it's all been awfully overwhelming. Excuse me. I never meant to keep it from you. It's just, I feel like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble. Huh? Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student status aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble. Ash, you know I'm your friend through and through. You can't trust horse girls. I don't think being friends with Ashley Westbridge, horse girl, is any trouble at all. Not a fucking horse girl! Ashley giggled. I love you, Echo. You really are a good friend. Of course, I love you too. Too bad one of us is gonna die. We made our way back to the living quarters hall and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the halls. Hey, you two. Something wrong? Nope. In fact, we are having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps our being locked in a mansion situation is a big puzzle. Think about it. Escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room. I admit it's not impossible, and it does sound interesting. Right? So what do you think? I'm not sure yet. I have a feeling it's some convoluted ARG scheme. ARG? Alternate reality game. It's a type of game that is interacted with through different media experiences, whether it be online or in real life. Tasks range from decrypting audio logs on a website to doing something odd like cleaning up local cemeteries. Irony is Applejack is the element of honesty. Her horse is named Applejack, right? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm saying yeah as if I know. Yeah, I totally know. Uh-huh. Um,
I see. Given those examples, it's plausible that diffuse and electrocuting door could be added to that list of tasks, right? Well, if they're typically employed to the public to boost attention for a product. What the product is in our scenario, I'm not certain. If this is an ARG, there must be a puppet master that's setting these things up, much like an escape room's game master. Escape room and ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement in puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Wow, you got it all figured out already. You got it all figured out already. Puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight, and left Art and Lau to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. Right, their strategy meeting. I'm sure strategy meeting is code for boy time. The ultimate boy time. I felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me all at once as I let myself collapse onto the bed. I think I'd be stuck in a luxury mansion with super talented students. My life before this moment had hardly been as eventful as this single day. I lived a rather average life, with as little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. I never thought it boring or repetitive. It was like my mundane life caused me to be a little more worrisome than any other person, likely has a will to keep everything the same going forward. However, a strange situation threw me in a state of disarray. I was wholly out of my element. Above all, I couldn't help but feel guilty for making Ashley worry. Whatever it is I found myself in, I clearly didn't have a place. I sighed heavily. I should get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of my clothing in the closet of the personal bathroom. I let my body relax under the repetitious rhythm of a warm shower. Crawling under the weighty covers, I turned down the lights and let my eyes slowly drift closed. Tomorrow, what were we going to discover? A body? Picture of moon. Picture of sun? Prologue. What's in the middle? Hopefully, a peanut butter and jelly combination? Opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. My personal room, I sat up from bed and took in the surroundings. So the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream. The personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. Maybe both can be true. My luxuriously comfortable and oppressive room. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I don't know, man. I feel like you're worrying about the wrong thing right now. I feel like you should be more worried about the fact that you might be trapped in here. Just reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. Ugh, I don't want to see everyone. I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. But there are a lot of cute boys. There are a lot of cute boys. I heard Ashley's muffled voice through the hall. What? I can't hear what you're saying.
Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you.
Oh, just give me a minute. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. Walked casually down the hall to the foyer.
You sleep alright last night?
Yeah, I slept alright considering. It's interesting. It seems like all the bedrooms have like different like symbols on their like door plates. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I slept alright considering.
I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation.
I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting rest. And besides, everyone has been really nice.
That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back.
Maybe I'm the ultimate bounce backer. Wait, I'm sorry. Is this just now the prologue? What was before the prologue? The pre-prologue? In the foyer, we were met with two other students loitering outside the dining hall.
Sorry, I'm not a morning person.
Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door.
The door seems scary.
Good morning, Say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? You seem better, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that.
Yeah, morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead.
Huh? What do you mean?
One of my watches is set to my hometown time. It says it's 7:43 Sunday, 6th of December.
What? But it's only 17 days before Christmas. 7:43 p.m. That's a 12-hour difference from now. Oh, the date checks out. I was just thinking that the winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward from Say's date, today would be Saturday. I guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would be a little different. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm so burpy today. Even so, all our alarms were set to the same current time, so we'd eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right?
Yeah, like recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter is too cold, but the new year is fun. I like watching the ball drop. Ryan Seacrest is a really good host. I like Ryan Seacrest.
In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room, my senses swathed in comfort.
Did you know he's only like 5'2" or something? He's like really short.
Pandora placed a basket filled to the brim with fresh baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Wow, it's just like dining at Olive Garden.
Good morning, you two.
Been working hard, huh?
Of course. I had to get an early start if I wanted to indulge you all with some treats to begin the morning.
Felt the sweet and savory fragrances seep into my body. Oh God! They're all over me! The warmth of a sun-kissed, dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. What do you mean sun-kissed? Where is the sun?
Such a lovely setting.
Yeah, I would almost be ashamed to eat it.
Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. You're too kind. Help yourself.
That's alright, we'll wait for the others. Illusion of sun-kissed bread. The concept of sun-kissed bread. Eric... Cynthia Erivo... touching her head. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in, and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treats as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we all settled in, Missy stood at the head of the table to begin the discussion. Good morning, all. I trust you all have had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily on the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. They were called out on Twitter last night, with a full Google Doc. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have a similar mechanism keeping us from going outside. You may split into groups or investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Relay a message? The digital kiosks can do that? Yes. I discovered it with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night.
As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified function it provides in its resident home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all the digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor, and we can assume further floors as we gain access to them. It's a rather rudimentary feature, though. One would scan their bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. You cannot send to specific recipients, however. Once you complete and send the message, it will show up on the screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. Oh, very inclusive. Very inclusive murder palace. This mansion truly is an all-encompassing in its endeavors to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the reason the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. The group unanimously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and search for one room themselves. While I was still deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Hey, Echo. Would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Okay. Huh? Why me? So you were the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. Yes, we could. But, in all honesty, there's not a lot to retrace, I don't think. I mean, except for tracing my fingers along your face. Nonsense. There's no hope. There's no harm in a second look. A fresh pair of eyes, yeah? You might see something different this time around. The foyer Missy was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So, what exactly were you doing yesterday? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had been worrying about not having a talent, which led to my reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be an outcast if others knew I wanted to run away. After the welcome announcement, I was feeling a little tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room. And let me go ahead and save. Like I said at dinner last night, in passing I was curious out the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd a reason to want to reach for the door? Well, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious? None immediately came to mind. Forte said she just left me collapsed for him to take care of. Why'd she flee after I collapsed? I can't really think of anything at the moment. Huh? I guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate on my own from here. I don't know that I helped all that much, but you're welcome. Lyle went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the paneling for any hidden mechanisms. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wondered if Forte could help me figure out what went on with Kanan's disappearing act. Forte was unsurprisingly in the theater inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. Doing well, I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent. I wish for you to keep your spirits high despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that. I wanted to ask you about yesterday. But you might want to know more. However, the truth is as so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. See, I admit I didn't expect much more than what he told me. The story seems straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed anything odd? Forte paused. Suppose there was the trifling act that Kanan fled up to the second floor right away. Strange. Had I been so startled by such an event, I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Stairs, huh? Other than Kanon fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note-taking required of an investigation are much too overwhelming. It's okay. I appreciate the thought. And actually, that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. I made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on the screen. Hi, Climbing Center. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? Where could she be? I toured down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center, and spa. However, my search came up short. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. And on. Before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played and an announcement followed. It's now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. What now? A few students that were already on the same floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes, hello right back at you. Cool, it works. At least we discovered something from Art's larking about. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. What's up, Josh? Up and at 'em. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? All students gathered in the atrium once again. The bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different. The voice that announced the following was different. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. The voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. This is a extra special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. What game? That's right. A game, and not just any game. This is the beyond universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the mutual killing game. The fuck? Sorry, I got a healthcare call. One of those healthcare fucking guys trying to sell me shit. Mutual killing game. Terrible timing. You might need healthcare. The mutual killing game. A game of hope and despair. A game of allies and betrayal. A game of cause and consequence. It's all so thrilling. Yes, indeed, you are all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. Sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves up to the exclusive game of life and death itself. On hearing that detail, I saw the other students' face go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. It's a facade! What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you'd like to leave earlier, then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Try to leave by any other means will result in consequences, as some of you may have learned firsthand from a little jolt of discovery. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway, inside you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities.
live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. What happens when the 7 days pass? Do we all just like make it out? Oh, I didn't think that far. Shit. You kill without getting caught. The ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting of the ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know. It's a lot of information to take in at once. We'll allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge. Go climbing. But tomorrow, the real fun will begin. Ha 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 ha. What's up, Kenna? The announcement ended on one final disgusting note before cutting out. The class was in absolute shock.
No way. It can't be. Wait. What is this?
Sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring among themselves.
There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there?
Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's mind. How could one? It's merely an awful jest.
There's no way any of us could commit such an act against friends.
Who said we were friends? Who do you think is gonna die first? I mean, I feel like... Oh, bunny outfit. I feel like probably the bestie, the horse girl, right? Because she... I don't know. I feel like anytime that there's like a best friend in the equation, it's an easy foil to like, cause the protagonist to have like a moment of like, I gotta fight for everyone, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the thing, right? Um, but like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Twitch chat bringing back the bunny fit. I don't know. I could see, I don't know. I could see it going both ways with Kanan too. Like Kanan could die and there'd be like a bunch of mystery, but I also feel like there's so much mystery with her, like that they might keep her alive. So it could go either way. I don't know. I feel like Kanan might do the kill, or not Kanan. I feel like maybe Kanan might die first, and then the killer will be the bestie.
Bestie.
Who said we were friends? Huh? Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running this shtick. This is turning out to be more interesting than that diffuse and electrocuting door puzzle. This ARG is fun.
Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game?
What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet, don't worry. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. In theory, I honestly have no clue what's gonna happen, so I'm very interested. Yeah. I do always love these. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but I love seeing how they go about killing everybody and whatnot. As much as, I get attached to the characters sometimes. I think maybe Baker Girl, because she's being pretty nice.
could all just be it could be a ruse, a crimson ruse. To think just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game specifically targeting ultimate students. Yeah, I wonder if Echo is still thinking about their imposter syndrome. But I don't have an ultimate talent. I shouldn't even be here. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all our lives were potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Maybe I can get out of here. I'm the ultimate person in the wrong place. Mithridate. Whatever that means. Oh shit. For the baker girl, then there's no food. Echo Pine. Who the fuck is this? Missy Vesper, Art Campanino, Sei Kono, Cyrus Surik. Ashley Westbridge, Kanan Ota, Forte Solo, Pandora Espere, Lyle Termina. Wow. Cool. You can now view the student roster from the main menu. I grow safe at least for the first few trials, I think. I don't know, because they said that food would be provided. They made it specific. They said specifically that food would be provided, but you could also utilize the cooking student. So I feel like that kind of gives them an out if they want to use her as a bargaining chip. I don't know how this is gonna go. I have been told that this specific game has 4 chapters. So, I mean, if there's 4 chapters and 10 students, I mean that there's 2 students at the end of the game. I don't know. If I'm to assume that 2 students die every chapter. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in an almost giddy manner. A smirk painted his face in stark contrast to our own astonished expressions. Yeah, I feel like Lyle's just like, he's living in La La Land right now. He's not even like thinking about what's I feel like it, because he thinks it's an ARG, right? So we're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days, huh? What's 7 days anyway? It shouldn't be too hard not to kill anyone during that time, right? We made it this far. It's been a day. Art chuckled nervously, but the fact that such an inexplicable requirement like that existed in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple rule: kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of awful rule was that? Please, don't joke about the matter. Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed the announcement rules didn't outright state that we necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle is on to something regarding the ARG angle. Besides, the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being presented loomed over us, crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to search once more. Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this, Missy isn't easily shaken, Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who is excited. Nothing left to do, we departed from the atrium. The voice continued to haunt me as I left the room behind. Oh, ha 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 ha. The awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. On leaving the atrium, the others dissolved into their own disoriented thoughts. The foyer door barring any chance of exit, all we could do was wait. Wait. All we could do is wait for tomorrow, wherein tomorrow the real fun will begin. This so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students. What horrible thing could possibly be in store for us? I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the decorated students and their achievements. What had I gotten myself into? I don't think you got yourself into it. I followed close to Ashley as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talents. Right. But honestly, I'm just really worried about you. Me? Yeah, that whole killing game seems to center around the ultimate title stuff, so I hope you're not dragged into it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I can kill somebody in one fell swoop. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I just get up and get back in the saddle. Can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? I'm the ultimate warrior! Sorry, I know there's no use making myself sick with worry. Don't fret about that. It makes sense. This strange situation would make anyone nervous, but... Look, I'm not going anywhere. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. And you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with the little warrior is any trouble at all. Actually tried to reassure me multiple times that she wasn't going to get wrapped up in this absurd killing game, but... Despite her stubbornness, my heart sank further and further into darkness. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon us in the first place was too awful to bear. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear that the killing game wasn't real at all. Ash, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling overwhelmed. Oh, of course. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Ashley departed for the study, and I went back to my own personal room. At the roster. Oh, look at this! Cute. Arturo Campopiano. Ultimate golfer. 162 centimeters, December 2nd. Likes frogs and sci-fi movies. Dislikes swimming and road trips. Previously at the AA Academy. Flower Bouvardia. Pandora Espier. Ultimate Baker, 165 centimeters. August 15th. Likes vintage telephones and tropical birds. Dislikes cheese and playing darts. You're a baker and you don't like cheese? Previously homeschooled. Flower Daisy. Sei Kono, Ultimate Watchmaker, 165 centimeters. Birthday June 12th. Likes umbrellas and cats. Dislikes being rushed and lemonade. Previously a Soul Heart Industries Academy. Purple Hyacinth. Non Ota. Ultimate Photographer. 160 centimeters. October 4th. Likes jazz music, botanical gardens. Dislikes humid weather and dust. Previously at the Black Mist Girls Institute. Flower is marigold. Echo Pine. Ultimate. Oh? 157 centimeters. February 15th. Likes herbal tea and wooden trinkets. Dislikes mud and wild berries. Previously at the Calm Mind Institute. Flowers the gladiolus. Forte solo, ultimate opera singer. Height 175 centimeters, birthday February 2nd. Likes crocuses and skiing. Dislikes castles and parties. Previously at the Relic Song High School. Flower is the calla lily. Oh, I used to have a calla lily. Cyrus Zurich, ultimate charisma. Height 180 centimeters. Birthday March 27th. Likes fresh laundry and journaling. Dislikes candy and seashells. Previously at the White Marsh High School. Flower is Snapdragon. Lyle Termina, ultimate puzzle master. Height 167 centimeters. Birthday is September 9th. Likes scented candles and chocolate ganache. Dislikes watching sports and Dalmatians. Previously at the Signal Prep High School. Flower is the Asphodilus. Missy Vesper, ultimate tactician. Height 170 centimeters. Birthday November 13th. Likes magic tricks and honeybees. Dislikes trains and needles. Previously at the Bellum Academy, and the flower is geranium. Ashley Westbridge, ultimate jockey. Height 182 centimeters. Birthday August 10th. Likes taking walks, fountain pens. Dislikes overthinking and plastic. Previously at the Terminus International High School. White carnation. No mention of this zero person. I wonder if they're like the person who's running everything though. No. Although that does remind me I should go ahead and save. No. Return. Blah. There we go. Ashley departed for the study and I went back to my personal room. It was all too much. Oops. No. Threw myself on the bed and let my body slowly sink into the comforter as I sank into my thoughts. I went over the events of this supposed vacation in my head. I woke up in an unknown room with nothing in my possession and in a panic threw the door open to find my best friend Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate... What, am I being tested on this? Ultimate jockey? That's right. He's the ultimate jockey. Supposedly won 84% of her races, whatever that meant. What do you mean, whatever that meant? That's actually very... very clear. It means she won 84% of her races. Regardless, she neglected to tell me of such a thing during our friendship. Ashley and I teamed up to explore what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. Except for me. There is someone who doesn't have one. Who doesn't have an ultimate talent? Me! That's right. Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. I wanted to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing, but in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed by the immense talent everyone encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. I ran to the foyer's main doors and was... Electric is shown the right way out. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up some time later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning and searched the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second floor atrium. There we heard some horrific news. The horrible news is... we're part of a killing game. That's right. A strange announcement informed us that we were to be trapped here for 7 days, and the means of escape was to kill someone. Not to mention that the real fun would begin tomorrow. It's all so strange. No, I just wished it were unreal. I just wished to go back home. I wanted to go back to the comfort of complacency and knowing my place. It's not real, it's not real, it's not real! Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts. Honk shoe, honk shoe. Chapter 1. Je ne plus monsieur. Oui, oui. Ho ho. I opened my eyes. The clock on my bedside table read 12 o'clock. Oh, I must have dozed off a little. Can't this weird situation just be a dream already? I stared blankly around in my personal room. I guess I could take a walk to get my mind off things. Made my way to the foyer and sighed again. The grandiose foyer was empty, making me feel smaller against its elaborate decor. I doled around for a spell, thinking of what to do, when I heard a small conversation in the dining hall. But look at this. There's Pandora and Say. I paused at the doorway. It seemed they were in the middle of something. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely. The engraving is just immaculate. My sister gave it to me ages ago. I was wondering if you'd like it. Huh? Why me? Are you wanting something in return? Nothing of the sort. I was thinking as a watchmaker, you must have a rich eye for detail. I believe you could give this piece the care it needs. I don't know. It's a gift from your sister. Wouldn't you want to keep it? Afraid I can't quite put it to good enough use. I cherish it, but if someone else can appreciate it more than I, who am I to keep it away from her? Well, I'll try to take care of it. Thank you. Even after a pressing situation made itself known, it seemed like Pandora still wanted to get along with everyone. Even the most timid person in some way or another left them alone. I mean, I feel like she's trying to curry favor, right? So she doesn't get murked. Low key, if I found out that I was in a killing game, that'd be the first thing I'd be doing. I'd be like, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you, I always thought you were such a lovely presence." Like kissing everybody's ass. Cause I mean, you know, in a desperate situation, you do what you gotta do. I'm not saying that I, you know, in like a natural setting that I'd like kiss everybody's ass, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're at risk of getting murdered at any given moment, I just always, I've been wanting to say, I just really admire the way you carry yourself. You just have such an overwhelmingly charming presence. I step back into the center of the foyer. Wonder how everyone else is doing. Dead. Oh, free time. Okay, let's go. Who do I want to hang out with? I want to get myself a little boyfriend. Ooh, location unknown. I do like Cyrus. He's a cutie. Art is a cutie. Forte's pretty cute. Let me hang out with Cyrus. He's maybe he can riz me up. I'll look for Cyrus. Hello, Echo. You coming to relax for a bit in the spa? Feel free to join me. Settled in with Cyrus for a relaxing moment. Is that the fucking, like, the iPhone wallet sound? Hi, Yuri. Cyrus, what do you know about the preservation project? Oh, just about as much as any other student who signed up. It's a group that protects Ultimate students from extreme natural disaster. to preserve humanity's future. It's presumed that is their goal, as the name implies. Huh, that's as much as I know, too. It would be unfortunate to lose people who would benefit the world, right? That makes sense. What do you think of all this? I sighed. The scenario we found ourselves in, it feels like the very opposite of saving ultimate students. It's terrible, building excitement and hopes of safety only to crush those feelings in a messed up game. Are you new here? I couldn't wrap my head around the idea. More than reasonable observation. It's cruel, isn't it? Most of all, I was so confused as to why and how I found myself here. In that case, what do you think of the others? Huh? What about them? Well, our associates all found their way here for some reason or another, isn't that right? No one would want to join a killing game voluntarily, that much is obvious. But say that the former were true, that they joined to become part of humanity's future. Pandora seems keen on the idea that our talents can induce worldly benefit and change. Think such a thing could happen? Suppose so. Why not? Cyrus chuckled faintly. Then you have Squid Games. Why not? How optimistic. Oh, yeah, I guess it might be a lot to hope for from the scenario we're in. No, it's all good. It's good of you to maintain the spirit that anything is possible. Be cute of you. Cyrus flashed a pleasant smile again before reclining back in the spa chair in silence. Pussy facing the world. After a beat, I saw myself out as Cyrus continued to enjoy his time in the spa. Is he rizzing you? Well, he is the ultimate charismatic guy. Let's go hang out with Forte. Forte's probably in the theater. Welcome to the stage, Echo. I was just admiring the selection of props backstage. Would you like to try some? Awkwardly tried on some hats and masks with Forte. This killing game, it can't be a reality, can it? Excuse me, just thinking out loud. That's okay, I was wondering the same thing. I mean, the preservation project. What am I saying? It can't be related. Surely the group has been infiltrated and is pulling a horrible prank. Though I can't say I enjoy the perpetrator's flavor of humor. What is the preservation project, anyway? Good afternoon, Kenna. It's a group that provides safe housing for ultimate students, protecting them from extreme natural disasters. It had a reputation for taking in small groups of students at a time, since the news of it was passing along solely by word of mouth. Once enough students signed up, a number of them were let in. In our case, it seems the message got to the 10 of us. Word of mouth? Yes, a lot of ultimate students often flock together in small communities within their area, since they're often outcast by the average people. Why? We're just too good at what we do. No one likes that. Personally heard it when they acquired an ultimate radio host to help spread the message to my community. Recall with clarity, his voice was boisterous and engaging, not unlike excuse me, that strange announcer. He had a face for radio. You're good at something, yeah. Everybody point and laugh at the guy who's really good at opera. Despite that, it was a moderate arrangement overall. There seemed to be a constrained effort not to spread the word far and wide, which is strange considering the varying range of students and talents around the world. Wouldn't you think the group would extend this offer to more ultimates? I guess it does feel a little deliberate. Listen to me jawing away. Don't mind my pedantic thoughts, just trying to make sense of this is all. Forte quieted down as he continued to inspect the costumes backstage. Ultimate communities. I thanked Forte for spending time with me and left the theater.
We're just gonna be hanging out with everybody. Guess we'll hang out with Missy. I'll go talk to Missy. I can't sit still knowing there are questions to be answered. Would you like to join me on an investigation? I helped Missy search every corner of the foyer to no avail. That was a kind of heavy sigh. Are you okay? I'm not immune to the presence of the situation we have found ourselves in, and I must confess something. It would allow me to think aloud a moment. I intended to join the Preservation Project as a part of their operating group once I had heard about it. I thought my skills would prove useful. Really? What are you thinking about it? What are you thinking about it now? I'm convinced the group must have been infiltrated. The group is known for bringing in many talents from around the world. For starters, I know the Preservation Project's safe house was a large building with many wings for each group of Ultimate students. The groups are divided by the window of time students signed up. In our case, we all signed up within a relatively close time frame, creating a group of 10. The individual groups are often offered a class project to work on together, utilizing all of the unique skills in their pool. These projects apparently have varying results, given the fact that each group may or may not be comprised of incompatible talents. Composed. Regardless, the end products are usually very unique. Wow, that sounds interesting. Certainly. It would have been an amazing and challenging experience to participate as well, but alas. Other Ultimate students, huh? I'll let Missy continue investigating in peace. I wonder if art is okay. As long as it's not AI, am I right? Echo, want to see how high I can climb? Safety first, though, of course. Watched Art struggle with the ropes and harnesses before giving up on the idea of climbing altogether. So weird. What's on your mind? This game thing. An announcement said it was a game, but it's not a very fun premise, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like League of Legends. Huge mansion or whatever, just for the 10 of us to play a killing game. It seems, I don't know, expensive? What do you mean? This place is huge. There goes Drosshair's League of Legends sponsorship. That's okay. I wasn't banking on it. This place is huge. I would have thought maybe more people would be involved by the looks of it. Not that I want a lot of people to play a killing game. I say a lot of people, but are Ultimate students really so common? Yes and no. Familiar with Ashley's name only because I pay attention to the sport. But I know zilch about photography. I think you just have to be in the right circles. To put it in perspective, there are billions of people on the planet. It only seems like a lot of Ultimate students in this moment since we're all gathered up. It's true. Well, at least you don't have to worry much about the Ultimate talent stuff. It's tiring sometimes. Oh, it's so exhausting having a bright, secured future. Art fell unusually silent for a spell. Anyway, doesn't look like I can figure out this climbing business. Catch you later. Art gave me a quick nod as he zipped out of the climbing center. Wonder how Ash is doing. Oh, she's dead. Hey, Echo. I was just reading about this painter named Marcel Osterzone. Apparently, people think very highly of their work. Would you like to see? I learned about a Renaissance painter thanks to Ashley. So, how are you feeling? I'm feeling a bit better. I took a walk to clear my head a little. Glad to hear it. The last thing I would want is for you to get all worked up. Ash, I'm curious. How did you hear about the Preservation Project? I heard about it by word of mouth. Seems kind of sketchy that they're all hearing, are they all given like an invitation or something from just like a random guy? I have some Ultimate talent colleagues that were talking about the Preservation Project, so I signed up for it along with my friend, the Ultimate race car driver. Wow, jockey and race car driver? That's a pretty high stakes tag team.
Well, you know how it goes. Birds of a feather flock together.
Not fucking really, but okay.
I can't help but wonder whether or not he made it in.
Let me ask the audience.
I'm sure he did. He's probably just in a different group. Probably just dead? Maybe. It's just last I spoke with him, we got in a huge fight.
Damn, Ashley, you really got problems with everybody.
Ashley didn't seem to want to talk anymore. Sorry if I brought up something painful. No, it's okay. Fights happen when people are close. It's just a fact of life, I suppose.
Not really, but sure.
We've had our fair share of spats, but
we've usually worked together through them. Remember when I dropped your mug?
I still have that mug. You worked pretty hard to mend it together in that kintsugi fashion, although it's a little too awkward to drink out of. I knew it was your favorite, so I did my best. Thanks, Echo. I appreciate what you're trying to say. Don't worry about my silly fight. I'll get over it.
I said goodbye and let her have some alone time. I wonder what Lyle is up to. Lyle? Wandered the first and second hallways in search of Lyle, but failed to find him. Guess he's off searching the killing game puzzle. Better let him get to it. See if Kanon's in any mood to talk. Looked up and down the halls, but couldn't find Kanon anywhere. I guess she's in her personal room. Made my way over to her listed personal room in the living quarters and knocked lightly. Kanon? No response on the other end. Either she was out being difficult to find, or she didn't want to be bothered. Or she was dead? Whatever the case, I moved on. I think that's everyone. I learned a little bit more about this preservation project and how the others found their way to this place. Despite that, I was still left pondering my purpose here. After spending some time with my fellow classmates, I habitually wandered back to my personal room. But upon entering, I realized I didn't have any personal effects with which to pass the time, so I stepped right back out into the hall to see if anyone wanted to socialize. Incidentally, I came across Sei and Kanon on their way in from the foyer in the halls. Hey Sei, Kanon, I was about to go to the dining hall. Did you want to come?
We just left the dining hall.
Oh, I see. Stood in silence for half a minute.
Well, I should go.
Sei shuffled off, leaving me and Kanon to fill the empty air.
She went right back out to the foyer to who knows where.
Huh?
Sei's personal room is right here.
Maybe she wants to spend time in one of the activity rooms?
Maybe.
Conversation came to a stalemate.
I'm just being cautious.
Kanon turned and withdrew to her personal room. I let out a deep breath I didn't know I was holding in. Kanon tires me out. I hate her. 15 minutes later, me and Bestie. The fucking SpongeBob and Squidward and Patrick meme. I can't stand her fake ass. 15 minutes later, me and Bestie. Made my way to the dining hall, running into Ashley along the way. Greeted each other in a rather unusual manner before sitting down with the other students who had already settled in for a meal. Ah, Echo and Ashley, feel free to join us. We were just starting. How have you been faring since this morning? I'm feeling much better, thank you. Me and Bestie. Pleased to hear it. As he sat at the head of the table, Art and Cyrus sat across from each other, with Ashley sitting next to Cyrus. I shuffled in, sitting next to Art and across from Ashley.
Man, what kind of class only has 5 students?
One that should have been disillusioned by a strange game, apparently.
Yes, it's a little disheartening to see only half of our group gathered here.
Well, it isn't strictly required that we all have dinner together. I saw Say and Kanan in passing. They must have had their share already and were on their way out.
Say's a pretty shy girl, so I can understand perhaps she didn't want to be around a large group of people.
And Kanan, she's awfully mysterious. Well, there's no use wondering about them. They can do whatever they please, so we shouldn't question their actions. Even if they're suspicious? And for that matter, doesn't the killing game frighten any of you? I voiced the questions that have been ruling my thoughts. I mean, there's really no one capable of that sort of thing, is there? The question was met with silence. Echo, I understand that you might be afraid right now, but it won't do you any good to worry. You're going to run yourself ragged thinking about the frightful possibilities.
Yeah, Missy's right. It's just some dumb announcement out of nowhere, so what's the threat?
Precisely. We shouldn't make ourselves sick with anxiety from something that hasn't invoked any consequences.
Plus, if this were a killing game, why would they give us such nice amenities? Why not just throw us in a creepy locked building?
Wouldn't that pressure? That is a good point. I always wondered why, like, they give them such a cushy lifestyle in these games, and then like they like kill each other. It's like I don't know. I don't feel like. I mean, I guess usually it's more so wanting to like get out, right? Because you're worried about like, you know, your loved ones. But I don't know. If I were in that situation, I mean, I probably wouldn't think very rationally anyway, but I feel like, you know, thinking with a level head, I'd be like, well, things will probably sort themselves out. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying that because I've played a few of these games at this point, but I probably would be freaking out trying to escape at the same time. I wonder. Regardless, we shouldn't dwell on the specifics of something so mysterious and harmless. Let us just enjoy each other's company and the fixings of this mansion to its fullest. The only thing is, like, in this game specifically, there's a finite amount of time. There's 7 days, so it's like, I don't know. It's like when people say they're gonna boycott, when they're like, we're gonna boycott Genshin Impact for 24 hours. It's like, why would you say how long you're gonna boycott something? The whole point of a boycott is to not partake in it until your needs or until your demands are met. I always find that so silly when people when they're like, we're only gonna be protesting today and no other day. It's like, well, but then if everybody knows that you're gonna protest for one day and then that's it, they're just gonna be like, well, I guess we'll just not make money today. You know, I feel like the whole point of protest, maybe this is too political, I don't know, but like the whole point of protesting in my eyes is like to push the people that are benefiting from your, you know, whatever you're protesting against, you know, to push them into a corner until they're like, okay, you know, we'll do it, we'll capitulate, right? That's kind of the point of a protest. I don't know why I got into this aside. Just thinking out loud. I don't know. It just feels silly whenever I see stuff like that, you know. I guess that's why I'm like, this whole like 7 days thing is a little silly to me, because it's like, well, okay, maybe they'll explain it and they'll be like, yeah, in 7 days you're all gonna die if there aren't like 2 people left or something. I don't know.
Thank you for the encouraging words, Missy. Missy won't get shook up. She's the definition of keeping it cool.
The atmosphere lightened up. We continued our dinner with lively chatter.
was thankful to have such positive energy surrounding me. I feel like Missy could possibly die. Because, like, you know, she is kind of being the leader of the group. But, you know, with that also could be like an internal struggle of, like, she's maybe the most freaked out about everything. Maybe she has the most to lose. But she's just really good at keeping a level head, or seeming like she's keeping a level head. After dinner, we all departed to wrap the evening with our own activities. Ashley and I walked over to the living quarters to rest for the evening. Before we went to our respective rooms, Ashley pulled me over to the end of the living quarters hallway. Ash, what's up?
Echo, I've been thinking, and I don't know how to say this. This killing game, it has me really worried.
An ultimate battle royale. Just saying that is ridiculous. Who the fuck said that? Has to be some kind of themed ARG or weird elaborate prank. I was kidding around, but Ashley remained still with a serious demeanor.
So funny. Well, you're here, aren't you? How else would you explain your high school plaque on your personal room door?
Huh?
Sure, it's a little strange, but that could mean anything. I was probably just mistaken for a different student in my high school.
I said that.
You know what I think it means? I think it means the Earth really is flat. What? It means I was right. Echo, being involved with me only results in ultimate levels of trouble. This game that's specially curated for ultimate students managed to gain a collateral student participation simply by association. Me.
Ash, what are you saying?
I don't want you to worry about me. Yes, I can protect myself, but it's more than that. I remember that night, the night you dropped me off after we had dinner. At Red Robin's. Yum. You couldn't walk me to my house. I did in fact make it to the house in one piece. The one piece is real, but when I looked back out on the street, I noticed something strange. I saw smoke. It was coming from the direction you dropped me off, so I assumed the worst. I wanted to run out there and see what had happened. The only thing I remembered after that was a sharp pain and then...
Black.
Right. I must have been a target or something. Someone must have subdued and captured me, and at the same time you as well. Whoever did this, it seemed they wanted to cover all their bases, which meant if you saw anything that night, you had to be taken also.
Trembled at the thought. Problem was, I didn't see a thing happen that night.
Echo, I can protect myself, but I want you to keep your distance so whatever happens to me doesn't come to harm you as well.
How could you say that? We're best friends. Can't abandon you at a time like this.
I need you to let me alone. It's for your safety. It hurts me to even think about it, but I don't want you to be in danger because of your relation to me as a close friend.
I couldn't believe what was happening. Ashley's face was painted with remorse. She only wanted to keep me safe, but in return it meant we needed to be apart. Ashley gave me one last hug before retiring to her home for the night. Ashley! I hung my head in despair. Why did this have to happen? I clenched my fist in frustration. Damn it! I pounded the wall, trying to process everything when I heard a gentle voice.
I'm sorry for what just happened.
I whirled around to find the source of the voice a few paces behind me. It was Pandora. Her voice was barely a whisper. Pandora, you heard our conversation?
No. I apologize. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was a little nearby because I wanted to talk to you privately.
Me?
Yes, I was wondering. Does this message mean anything to you?
Puma? Pandora pulled a small piece of paper out of her apron pocket. The note had 2 small symbols on it, along with some text. You recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note's existence. Trust no one but yourself. Girl, you already breaking the rule. On closer inspection, the symbols were similar to the ones the announcement showed. What does this mean?
Do you recognize either of them?
Can't say that I do. Oh, that's unfortunate. I've been going around showing this to everybody. I was confused by the contents of the notes. I was hoping someone could help me. In particular, I was wondering what the note meant by "you are safe." Based on what's shown on the note itself, these two symbols could be of interest. Seems like there could be someone here who might be connected to whoever is controlling the announcements. Basically, there might be a spy. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, but alright. I thought the same, but I wish the implications weren't so. Where did you find that? It was in my apron pocket since I woke. I didn't know how it got there. I don't recall putting anything like this in my pockets. Took the note away back in her apron pocket. However, that wasn't really what I wanted to talk to you about. I really wanted to say I feel like you're a very special person. Okay, girl. I can't really explain it, but I feel a strong aura about you. Oh, thank you? She smiled and went on. Echo, you might think being an ultimate student is some kind of extravagant existence, but you forget there is beauty in the ordinary as well. That's what you are. Ordinary. Riz? I feel like she's kissing up to me, man. Even if we do have ultimate talents, we're still regular people just like you. Waking up with bedheads, sometimes showing up late to our appointments. We're just like you. Just those two things. We're just a little more preoccupied with one particular thing than most. Making a lot of money. And living lavishly in our mansions. Thank you, Pandora. Pandora managed to quell a bit of the worry in my heart. Just like me, Barbie movie. I'm just like you. You're just like me. And now I really have to pee. I grew up with a sister, so I know some of the Barbie movies. But it is a pity what happened between you and Ashley. I don't know what to think anymore. One moment Missy is telling me not to believe a word the announcement says. And another moment Ash is cutting ties with me in a firm belief of the dangers of the game. And another moment Lyle is telling me he wants to make out in my room. What was that last one? Nothing. What am I supposed to do? Felt my throat begin to choke. It's choking! Someone, get the Heimlich maneuver! Oh, Tres Désolé. Echo. I don't think it's my place to say. However, this is but a bump in the road. Ashley will always be your friend no matter what, until she dies, inevitably. And it may be difficult to determine what's in store for us ahead, so we must keep our faith and live one moment at a time. I am definitely being set up to either be the killer or the killed. The lights started to dim as Pandora smiled at me one last time. It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Oh dear, looks like the nighttime has come. FNAF ass sounding bell. I think that's just the Danganronpa bell, is it not? The ding dong bing bong. But right now on the way my head just snapped up. Yuri, I saw a meme that reminded me of you. It was like some edit. I don't even know if it was like FNAF, but I know it was like there was like it was like some kid that was talking to some older guy that was like, you wouldn't have trusted me, blah blah or something, and then it like cut to the fucking green bunny guy, whatever, is it Springtrap? I don't know. And it was just a video of him like with a shitty MMD model of him like jerking off to like fucking like TikTok
Like a TikTok edit soundtrack. I know what you're talking about. Okay, cool.
Oh dear, it looks like nighttime has come. Time for me to plan my murder. Well then, bonne nuit, Echo.
Oh, you thought of me? Or, yeah, I guess.
And please don't tell anybody about this note. I don't want to cause any unnecessary trouble. I feel like this note is the key to the many mysteries of this place.
I nodded. The note was odd, but couldn't find it in me to outright doubt Pandora. It's a real Pandora's box.
That's not funny.
Good night to you too, Pandora. We both returned to our personal rooms to pass over the night. For the night. Returning to my room, I made myself comfortable and slipped into bed. I stared blankly at the dim ceiling, letting my mind wander aimlessly through the news I learned today. I forgot to turn the light off. But nothing really stuck. Oh, there it goes. But nothing really stuck. Words and conversations and thoughts flew by as I let my heavy eyes close. What are you gonna do? Are you streaming tonight too? Perhaps. I don't know yet. The one thought that pervaded the others was, what would be waiting for us tomorrow? Before I knew it, I had fallen into deep sleep. So I'm probably gonna crash after this stream. Day 3. Day 3! I opened my eyes to the now familiar colors of the room. White, red, black, and gold. Hey, that's kind of like me. I looked at the clock on my bedside table. 7:28. 17:38. What is this? 2012? 17:38. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. I turned off the alarm before it rang and steadily got out of bed. See you later, Kenna. Only 2 days had passed, and I found myself beginning to acclimate to the sleep schedule. I splashed my face with cold water, the icy sting charging my nerves for a sharp awakening. Splash on my face with cold water. I wonder if anyone is in the dining hall for breakfast yet. My whole face is dripping with cold water. I got cold water all over my face. My whole face is covered with cold water. Drip, drip, drip. I made my way to the dining hall, stopping in the foyer for a moment to gaze at the mysterious electrifying doorway. Also, it produces electricity when you touch it. In the dining hall were a few early risers just starting breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning, Echo. Please help yourself. Made some muffins with citrus today. Hopefully it'll energize you.
Nothing like a hearty, satisfying breakfast to start the day. Oh, rolling with the same crew as last night, except I guess Ashley was switched in for Pandora. My heart hurt when Art mentioned Ashley. Pandora must have noticed and sat close to me.
Here, I made lemon squares just for you. Ashley told me in passing you liked lemon.
Did? Thought she was still looking out for me. But I hate lemon! Thanks, Pandora. Can you tell her thank you for me as well?
Of course.
We continued our leisurely breakfast as we all shook off the night's slumber. No one else came in during the length of our stay in the dining hall, however. It's now 9 a.m. Please assemble in the second floor atrium for a special announcement. As the announcement ended, I mechanically started to get up from my seat when Art loudly kicked his feet up on the table.
No way!
Art leaned back in his chair and pouted.
We're not going to listen to your creepy announcements, you hear?
I don't know if that's gonna work. One sec. Waggled his finger aimlessly at the ceiling. I wonder what happens if we refuse to assemble. We want to test this passive protest? Why not? I'm curious as well. Probably get buzzed, bro. Hey, isn't this dangerous?
I agree, it might be risky.
The only risk so far has been from when Echo actively tried to escape. The past 48 hours have been nothing but casual to us. However, after a moment of silence, the painting above the fireplace switched to the announcement emblem. It's the killing game announcer. So, welcome to day 3. So it plays regardless. I sat down and allowed the announcement to disrupt our morning. Are you comfortable? Having a nice breakfast? Having fun sleeping in? That's great to hear. Today we'll be reviewing some general rules related to our lovely killing game. They are as follows. 1. Students will enjoy an idyllic lifestyle within the apothegm walls for a duration of 7 days. 2. Activity amenities are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 3. Breaking major assets, kitchen, refrigerator, theater lights, etc. is strictly prohibited. 4. At the end of 7 days, whoever survives is awarded the ultimate prize. 5. To expedite the process towards the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. And to get the ball rolling each morning, a special music will be provided to exercise your mind. Today's forced motive question is, are your talents a true representation of who you are? Who are you beyond your talent? Stew upon these brain-teasing inquiries as you all carry on with your communal lives. And whoever actually went to the atrium gets an additional special gifts. Yeah, I know. No one wants to go to the second floor just to hear an announcement. That's what speakers are for, after all. So whoever followed the rules got a little something, if you know what I mean. Finally, if there are no developments by day's end, there will be serious repercussions. You will all suffer the consequences and be executed as a group for failing to participate in the game. Oh. Check out your bracelets. They'll contain a lethal dose of Complex 53, just enough to knock you into the next life in less than a minute. Huh? With my bracelet over to see a small vial of clear liquid attached to a control chip. Bracelets had these things the whole time? But that's just our last resort. I don't really want to use it unless you all really bore me. So come on, you all, make it happen. Bizarre announcement cut out and the painting returned to its original form. So the thing they're giving us to motivate murder is a question? And threat of a clear liquid that is proclaimed to be a deadly toxic gas. As far as I know, such a chemical by the name Complex 53 doesn't exist. Might just be water like a prop or something, to release it only at the end of the day if nothing happens? I don't know, seems kinda weak. Furrowed my brow. I recalled what Missy said yesterday, that the risk wasn't high enough to do something drastic. The question was hardly raising the bar, not to mention a small vial of liquid. As for the other provided motive as it were, I don't understand. Are we meant to discuss the question with each other? Perhaps, unless anyone has any skeletons in the closet. I believe it is only fair to share our thoughts on the subject. I sheepishly ducked my head, but Missy caught me. Echo, why don't you lead us in our discussion? You are the most qualified, since you sit in a rather gray area when it comes to ultimate talents. Which isn't to say you're not included, but I think you have the most neutral viewpoint that is appropriate for judgment. Or if you say so. If you don't want to, it's not necessary. Right? I have to admit, I'm pretty curious now. Well, let's see what everyone has to say. Is being a pro golfer a true representation of who I am? I don't really get it. I mean, I think it is. I haven't really expanded my interest outside what I know, which is golf, so I can't say anything else encompasses who I am. Excuse me. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. If you tried something new now, I think it might be disorienting to fail at said activity since you're not ultra skilled at it. Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Well, ultimate golfer or not, yeah, I like playing golf. I think I got so good at the sport because I knew I liked it all this time and stuck around with it. Never really thought about the other stuff. Yeah, there we go. I guess it's a simple sentiment. Thanks, Echo. So, Cyrus. Yes? What does being called the ultimate charisma entail? Well, it's the mystifying ability to draw people towards me with little to no effort. Or so I've been told. Some might equate the word charisma with charm, and in turn think that charisma has to do with good looks, beautiful voice, overflowing wealth, etc. However, I think charisma actually lies simply in having a kind soul. People are swayed by those with a kind soul, be it they have good intentions to follow through on or bad intentions to take advantage of. Found myself absorbed in Cyrus's statement. Yeah, uh-huh. I might even say you're rather charismatic yourself, Echo. Oh, I don't know if I would go that far. Nonsense. I welcome your presence. It's calming. I was a little embarrassed after being given such a kind praise from the one so-called ultimate charisma himself. So with that in mind, how would you describe your personality and talent? Not sure. It's always difficult to talk about yourself. Though I suppose I do like going with the flow. I guess a word could be cooperative? Political tactician, huh? It's not glamorous. I'm often tasked with knowing the burdens and misdeeds of many people in power. It's somewhat a curse to be able to lie my way out of a sticky situation. How do you feel about being called the ultimate tactician, though? I don't mind. It is what it is. It is the strength I've been blessed with, and I would be misspoken if I said I took an interest in other things. I've always known my personality to be that of someone who informs. If I can give a purpose-driven voice power to speak up for what's right, then the ensuing battle, be it a difficult one, will produce satisfying results. I believe at the end of it, intense debate occurs. There's often an intense emotion behind it. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of selfishness and greed, though. Circumventing those intentions can be trying, but you just need to take the good with the bad. I see, self-assured as always. Who am I beyond my talent? Honestly, I wouldn't be anything without baking. Even in another life, I think I would always find my way back to baking. It's just in my soul. I think at the core of it, such an activity represents all that I care for in life. Simplicity and sharing good food with friends. To make something infused with love and to bring that joy to others, it's quite a special feeling, is it not? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Listen to me, being so sentimental. You really love baking, huh? Oh, it's everything. Everyone said similar things. That their talents run alongside their personalities. Couldn't have one without the other. What an odd motive. I would imagine talking about this kind of thing among peers would only reinforce relations. If our captors are trying to plant distrust, I'm afraid I don't quite understand the logic. Thought about the intention of the question, but all I could think was that it might be to weed out spies, which involuntarily led me to suspect the person I would least suspect. Something the matter, Echo? Nothing. Buried my gaze from Pandora. It's some kind of secret note that bore the strange emblems of our mansion announcers. What did it mean? Maybe, if I may be so bold, I firmly believe from our discussion that our ultimate talents are truly one and the same with our personality and characteristics. I'm inclined to agree. I guess it's cool that we got to know each other a little more, though. Seems like a friendly enough topic. Indeed. Our talents and skills born from a passion within.
You simply cannot remove that aspect of a person without losing a part of them. A peculiar motivator, that one. Their thoughts on the forced motive question clear, our group was able to finish the morning in peace. The Breakfast Club wrapped up, and with no other announcements to interrupt us, the afternoon was completely available for our individual activities. I don't have anything in particular planned today, so I idled in the foyer before deciding what to do next. Hey, Echo! That familiar voice erupted from behind me. What's up, Art? This might be weird to ask, but do you mind if I hang out with you today? Kinda curious about other students' talent stories, but I didn't want to go running around the mansion alone. Why didn't you ask one of the others from breakfast? Huh? Oh, 'cause you're cool. What? I mean, you're easy to talk to. I thought about asking Missy, but she's kind of imposing, honestly. You know, I feel like I have to walk all nice, like I'm balancing books on my head or something. I don't think she's strict on how others walk or anything like that. That aside, she stuck around with you on the first date, didn't she? Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I'm asking you now since I'm here. Besides, I can't find Lyle. I wanted to get another strategy meeting started today and maybe even help him with solving some stuff, but that was his second choice. Somehow he seemed disappointed. Sure, I'll tag along. Well, he would have been my first choice too. Sure, I'll tag along. I don't really have anything planned today anyway. Trailed off thinking about Ashley. You can probably cut down on one visit right here since you and Ashley are best friends. Do you know anything about her talent? Ugh. Honestly, I can't say that I do. This is the first time I even heard about such a thing like ultimate talents. All I knew was that she lived out in the countryside with her father on a ranch, Westbridge Stables. I didn't think all her time around horses amounted to something as intense as being an ultimate jockey. Huh. Maybe she just likes to be modest? I mean, just because she has high win rates doesn't mean she avoids taking care of the horses. Kind of like she works hard and plays hard. Does that make sense? I didn't really make heads or tails of it. I didn't really want to be thinking about Ashley at the moment anyway. It was too overwhelming. Sighed. Yeah, I suppose that could be it. Alright, that's one down. Let's get going. Seems I got roped into exploring the other students' opinions on the forced motive question with Art. Not that I was opposed to the idea of learning about the others. There were a handful of people we hadn't heard from. Talent motivations. Let's try and find Say. Art and I saw Say in the kitchen poking at the digital screen.
I haven't eaten since yesterday.
Say, what's the matter?
I just fucking said, oh, it's no use. I don't know how to use the screen thing. It doesn't register my taps.
Huh? You need to tap your bracelet to the screen first, and then you can choose a meal. She raised her right arm and scanned her bracelet on the screen, activating her display.
This is embarrassing. I'm not right-handed, so I didn't think about it.
Thought I could help. Say poked at the digital screen, ordering a rice porridge with pickled vegetables.
Eat up, Say.
Echo, let's get something too so she doesn't have to eat alone. Art, Say, and I shared a small meal together. After we finished, Say quietly sat in the dining hall and fiddled with her rings. She then let out a big, exasperated sigh.
It's really no use.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Can't get used to anything around here. Maybe because I'm kind of forgetful, but I went so long without eating because I couldn't figure out the menu thing.
Shouldn't go so long without eating. If you need help with anything, you can always ask one of your friends here.
Friends?
Was that too forward?
No, it's just I don't talk to you all much, so I didn't believe you thought of me as a friend.
Don't say that. There's no reason we wouldn't call you a friend, right?
I murdered someone.
Oh. She stopped there, but I saw a small smile turn in the corner of her lips. So, right down to business.
Business?
I came by to see you to ask about the question thing.
Question thing? You mean the forced motive question?
Yeah.
a group of us were talking about it in the dining hall over breakfast, and we were wondering if you had any thoughts about it.
Seems straightforward. A detail-oriented person and watches are full of little mechanisms. Although, I guess can get lost. I guess I can get lost in those details and miss the big picture, like just now. But then again, after all the gear design differences under the face of the watch, the outcome is still fixed, a timepiece, right? Yeah, I don't really understand what the question is supposed to be all about, sorry.
No worries. We don't know either, so we were just going around not getting people's opinion.
Oh, I see. Well, good luck figuring it out then.
Say clams up and quickly scuttles off before we could say anything else. Oh, I? Kind of antsy, huh? Forte is probably where I think he is. Ah, Art and Echo, what brings you here? Art here was curious about your opinion of the forced motive question. Yeah, why opera? Isn't it boring? Art full of tact, I see. Aha! It's quite the opposite of boring. Performances are very rich and can shake the viewer to their core. Opera is a wonderful art that combines raw vocal emotion with the physical beauty of expressing the self with your very being. Oh, wanna hit us with some pars? His operatic voice. To say I was a little curious would be an understatement. Oh no, I couldn't perform under these conditions. What conditions? Why, the conditions of the heart, of course. Can we ask why that is? Well, you see, I haven't been able to properly express myself since a tragedy struck my hometown. We lost a friend in our community. Sir Hyde, one of our most loyal friends. One of his favorite pastimes included long walks in the park with the wind gently brushing through his ears. Is he talking about what I think he's talking about? You lost your dog? Art. I'm still rather fragile about it. I'm sorry, that sucks, man. Si, davvero. Suppose it's different experiencing tragedy than performing it. Precisely. I've been troubled since. What kind of dog was he? A German Shepherd of 13 years. Oh, I'm sure you gave him a great full life with lots of music, of course. Forte's lip turned a small grin. Indeed, dog is a man's best friend, are they not? It would have been unseemly of me to treat him not unlike my own family. He had such charm and wit, howling along with practice, why I dare say he prevented me from practicing, times more often than not. Sir Hyde loved to command the attention of all with his gaiety. Couldn't help but smirk at the idea of his dog on the theater stage. It was a sweet thought. Yeah, just remember those good old times with Mr. Hyde. Indeed I shall. Thank you, Art. After that small chat, Art and I thanked Forte for his time and paused near the theater exit to collect our thoughts. I bet his dog was really fun to play with. Excuse me. Anyway, what did we learn? I don't think we got an answer to the question as much as we did a description of what opera is. I think we did. Forte's kind of a dramatic guy, sure, but I think he is very in tune with his emotions. Just like opera. Satisfied with the answer, Art nodded in understanding. Despite him jumping straight to Forte's worries, Art seemed to have helped Forte recall his fondness of his late friend. Alright. Kanon can't avoid us forever. Kanon was in the atrium, photographing some of the greenery in the center of the grand hall. Art and I hid away behind some bushes watching quietly. Hey, I know you two are there. Be quiet until I'm done. I watched in silence as she snapped various photos of the plants. Out with it. What do you want? Echo was curious about your talent in relation to the forced motive question. Way to throw me under the bus. Yeah, just wanted to hear your thoughts.
There's not much to say. I know who I am. I'm a photographer, a behind-the-scenes kind of person who brings others' visions to life and captures them for eternity. Was this rehearsed or what? No. I just know who I am. With a certainty. As Kanan was about to make a dramatic exit on that lingering note, Pandora caught her on the way out. Oh, Kanan, just the person I wanted to see. And is this about the mode of question as well? Indeed. Root configure is an interesting subject. Do you mind if I asked what draws you to it? Yes, I do mind. It's niche, and I don't want to waste my breath explaining these nuances to people who wouldn't understand. No activity is so niche that it's acted upon without love, you know. Whatever. Leave me alone. Did I offend you? No. Just... why are you all bombarding me with questions? We're not close. This is how we get close. We make small talk and learn about each other. It's all in good spirit. Well, I really wish you wouldn't bother. Kanan ends the conversation for us again and disappears from the atrium. Well, I guess that's that. Sorry I had to walk in on that, Pandora. It's fine. Perhaps it wasn't my place to ask. I shouldn't pry, right? Aw, you didn't do anything wrong. Kanan's just kinda snippy. That's putting it kindly. Thank you, Art. Echo. Excuse me. I just remembered something. I'll see you two around. Oh, sure thing. See you later. I wonder... oh. Art and I looked around for Lyle, but he remained as elusive as ever. What the heck? Where is Lyle? Might be dead. Dunno, I'm certain we would have ran into him by now. He's running around somewhere. We're bound to find him sooner or later. After running around all day, Art and I managed to catch Lyle as he was about to enter his room on the other side of the living quarters hall. Yo, Lyle! Hey there, what's a good word? You're awfully casual for being so difficult to find. Yeah, we finally caught you! Huh? Been running around this whole building solving puzzles. Been running around this whole building looking for you. I'm gonna need everybody to stop messaging me in the middle of a stream. Oh, I'm in hot demand, is that right? Yeah, we wanted to hear your thoughts on the motive question. Thought it might improve relations, getting to know each other better and all. Ah, that. Of course, motive question. It's not a very strong motivator, is it? What if I don't want to talk about it? I suppose you don't have to. Yeah, but we're friends. We should share stuff like this. And friends should know when to let up on the pressure. Oh, sorry, Lyle. Art looked down dejectedly. I'm sure Art didn't mean to press you so hard. It's fine. It's just... I've just known puzzles all my life, you know? Puzzle solving is more of a, introverted task, if you will. They're generally seen as activities simply for passing the time, cubing, crosswords, etc. I don't really like thinking about who I am beyond my talent is all. I'm afraid that I'm too boring without puzzles. You're not boring. You're plenty cool and super attractive. I mean, look around, you've got all sorts of friends here who think you're amazing for charging right towards solving that electric door. Right, Echo? Amazing was one way to put it. Yeah, Lyle, don't beat yourself up. You have a gift. Thanks, you two. But hey, while we're on the topic, listen to this. I tinkered with the door and I managed to figure something out. Lyle had our attention as he led the way to the foyer. Here we are. Give the door a try. What? Oh, wait, does that mean we don't have to stay here anymore? Well, that's the catch. Go ahead. I gave Lyle a nervous look before reaching slowly up for the door handle. Bracing myself, I quickly gripped the handle and nothing happened. I was fine. Wow, Lyle, you did it.
Gave the door a push, but they wouldn't budge. Oh, what now? What the... Is there a barricade or something? I think so. That or it's just hard locked. I managed to disable the electric door, but the physical barrier is an issue now. I admit, I'm relieved that there's more layers to this task. What do you mean? It would have been too boring if I had to disarm a door. Concerned with the discovery, Lyle was more satisfied with having more puzzles to solve than he was with removing a trap from the dangerous door. Here's something else that's interesting though. Might be important since it's about this weird killing game twist. After that 9 a.m. morning announcement, I saw Say sneak downstairs from the direction of the atrium. Think she actually went to listen to that announcement? Can't think of anything else. Even stranger was after she came down, she went to the dining hall for a minute, but quickly left. I poked around in there and saw this in the pantry. Whoa, secret note. So is that the so-called special gift? Yeah, I can only assume. Confused. How could it have been a special gift from this morning if Pandora shared the note with me in confidentiality last night? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Is this the secret gift that they got for showing up in the atrium this morning? And she's just like lying? So I had to keep quiet about it. I didn't want to confuse things further. I studied it a little, and the symbols don't match any symbols on the students that are currently here. I cross-referenced the note symbols with the ones on our personal room doors and got nothing. That is, if the note symbols even belong to students. I remember Missy saying something about other students. Oh. She told me that the preservation project divides ultimate student groups across different wings of the building. Hello, Nagi Toes Komaida. Maybe those are students from a different wing. So what would we do if we did know those students? It's not like we've seen them in our part of the building yet. Who knows? Could it be morphogenetic field theory? Lyle muttered something under his breath. Morpho what? Don't worry about it. It makes me wonder though. Are you meant to be recognizing other students? For example, I believe I recall Ashley and Echo being friends before this, am I right? No, you're right. I thought it was just me though. Right. See, for me I recognize Art's school emblem. AA Academy, right? Huh? Yeah, how'd you know? I went to Rainmoth Institute. I remember seeing your school symbol when our schools merged. My school used to be called Signal Prep High School before the merger. I thought you were so cool representing a whole school to influence a merger. That's kind of embarrassing. It was such a long time ago, I hardly remember it. Why not? It's amazing that you used your golf skills to make things happen. Our school has never been in better shape thanks to your help. Thanks, but people complain that my games aren't interesting enough since I always get the same result, a hole-in-one. I always say games should be entertaining, they should just play golf themselves, you know? Besides, Lyle, you're the cool one. Let's kiss. I mean, use like your deduction or whatever to figure out how to disarm a dangerous door. That's more utility than I could have ever imagined. It's nothing. The door doesn't even open anyway. It's still awesome though. I feel like you could even figure out what the deal is with the killing game announcement stuff. Oh yes, that's the end goal. I'm just working my way through all these small pieces they've given me. Two talked energetically as I awkwardly watched. Oh, sorry, Echo. We're third-wheeling you here. We're just over here talking your ears off, huh? That's alright, I'll take my leave now if you guys want to continue. Sure. It's fun hanging out with you. Let me know if you come across anything else weird, alright? Art and Lyle left, chattering along the way out. Damn, alright. They really clicked, huh? Despite Art's lack of sensitivity. I turned around and glanced over at the digital kiosk in the foyer, looking for the time. 15 o'clock. It's already 3 in the afternoon. Nothing regarding the killing game has happened all day. Guess I should be relieved. I really wanted to find Ashley, but it seemed like she was trying her best to put distance between us. Suppose I'll just pass time in the study. Made my way to the study and skimmed the collection of encyclopedias. An interesting titled book, Odd Theme Parks Across the World, caught my attention. With a tome in hand, I settled in the warmly lit study and began to leaf through the pages. I passed the time reading about a strange underwater theme park called Limu. Excuse me. I looked up from the book's pages and then toward the ringing sound coming from the ceiling. It's now 4 p.m. And no one has died yet? Ugh, how boring. Here's something that'll pump up your blood to shed some blood. Some inspiring, exciting, and energizing music. Music? This one's a special request from many of you at home. Enjoy! The announcement finished and a cacophony of obnoxious noise started playing overhead. Isn't this the song that they played in the first chapter of the third game? So I remember hearing it and I was like, what the fuck is this? What kind of music is this? I dropped the book to cover my ears, but it was pointless. The reverberation pierced through my skull and pounded through the walls. What the hell? Scouring the room, I looked for the speaker, hoping to block the noise, but my efforts were futile. I ran out of the study, but the din kept crashing through my head, amplified worse from bouncing off of the hallway walls. Where is everyone? I instinctively went into the foyer, but it was no use. The door was disarmed, but it was still barricaded. What can I do? The noise was more severe in the foyer as it crashed off the walls and echoed through the main chamber. Ugh. My head was pounding. I feel the vibrations in my body and my heart beating in my ears. Turning away from the main doors, I saw the shadowy movement at the top of the stairs. Hey! The shadow disappeared. I mustered out a cry for attention, but it was drowned out by the noise. Speeding up the stairs, the shadow was nowhere to be seen. Shoot, where did they go? I peeked through the glass doors of the closest room, the spa lounge, and spotted Pandora reclined in one of the lounge chairs. Finally, someone to help me with this horrible situation. Threw the door wide open and rushed in. The music persisted as echoes of its beat flooded into the circular chamber. Pandora? What's going on? I can't find anybody. Reaction. Uh-oh. Pandora? Close the distance. Time froze. My breath escaped me once more as I slowly came to realize what had happened. I felt my blood run cold as my eyes lay fixed on the stillness before me. I guess she's dead. Was she strangled? There was no response from her. Pandora was dead. Damn. Damn. Interesting. Well, hopefully the music will stop at least. I darted out of the spa lounge, my eyes tearing through the hall as I screamed at the top of my lungs for help from anyone. Help! Two people swept in at the sound of my voice. What is it? Stop making so much noise. The music is making enough of a racket. It's Pandora. She's... Where is she? Raced back to the spa lounge. Cyrus and Kanan's eyes were bound immediately towards the horrific sight. Kanan gasped sharply and flinched. nearly toppling over backwards from the recoil. Cyrus's expression hardened. Quiet anger emanated from him, it almost palpable in the air. I myself was completely drained. All I could do was stare in a cold silence. Finally, the music ceased and a new announcement began. At last, a body has been discovered in the spa lounge. We will be granted a period of investigation, and then we will begin our class trial. Please accept this generous gift of a special report called the Monokuma File. It will be printed from the digital kiosk, and it outlines the details of our poor lost friend. Your lives depend on solving this case, so get a crack on. Interesting. So they're referencing Monokuma, but Monokuma is not present. I guess it would be too on the nose. I don't know. I don't know how litigious Spike Chunsoft is about Danganronpas, but I guess it would be kind of weird if they used Monokuma's likeness in like a non-canon game. The announcement cut off, allowing stiff apprehension to suffocate the scene. Investigation? They want us to investigate Pandora's dead body? How dare that announcement call her a poor lost friend? It's their fault for forcing this game on us. Echo, please calm yourself. Here's we're being given an opportunity to right this wrong. It may be difficult to swallow, but this didn't just happen out of nowhere. Someone did this. Culprit. Huh? A culprit? It's only appropriate. The culprit we are seeking is the killer is responsible for Pandora's death. His voice was firm, but I could see him clenching his jaw and his eyebrows furrowed as he looked back at the body. Non, however, stood unmoving. She neither moved nor spoke since I saw her flinch at the first sight. It's like she froze. Right. The door flew open suddenly and I heard everyone clamoring at the spa lounge entryway.
Eek!
Say shrieked and immediately fainted. Say! The rest of the students made their way in, right painting everyone's faces as they each caught sight of the spa's terrible centerpiece. Not really a centerpiece, but sure. A centerpiece usually would be in the center. She's kind of off to the side. Unbelievable. I wish that the announcement was made in jest, but it appears I have been made a fool for hoping. Oh.
This is too much. Why, Pandora? Why?
Everyone seemed at a loss with good reason for sure. The announcement said we were given a period of investigation, but couldn't help but think it was such a detached request. Investigate the murder of her friend? Where would we even begin? Missy's commanding voice broke the silence. So, been instructed to investigate such a thing. The Monokuma file should tell us all about the means of death. But how do we even start? Does anyone know the first thing about investigating a dead body? One spoke up, but Missy pressed on. All we can do is investigate to the best of our ability. There's even a small trifling matter that plays into this. Keep it in mind. We need to put our best foot forward in an investigation if we were to find this heartless culprit. A bad feeling that the class trial may be an unforgiving scene. Such a tragedy, dreadful more so that we must be the ones to discover the culprit among us. Everyone was visibly stressed. We all stood some feet away from the body, afraid of approaching the reality of our situation. The air was thick with tension, but Ashley cut through.
Missy's right. We need to get to the bottom of this. Someone killed our friend for some awful reason, if not for the ultimate prize. Murder is murder. If someone dies at another's hand, and that life is taken away. One lives and one dies. There's no gray area about it.
Ashley's eyes were fiery with intent.
Someone here.
She trailed off, but we could fill in the blanks on our own. She didn't dare utter the idea that someone standing within our ranks did this. She marched over and gently laid a hand on Pandora, sharing a moment of silence for her. The rest of the group was unnerved, but silently agreed.
Missy and Ashley were stern, but they were right. I was shocked at the sight of Pandora's body, but I mostly felt sad. She looked peaceful, suspended in a newfound endless slumber. The longer I looked at Pandora, the more the suffocating melancholy in my heart grew. It ached to hear her voice again, to see her smile, to taste her muffins. She had so much life, and it was dashed away in an instant. I clung to whatever memories I had of her. Couldn't let her warmth, her love, her hope go unforgotten. Someone killed her. We needed to find out who. Not only for her peace of mind, but for Pandora's sake. Despite my fervor, I was still anxious about investigating a body. It was only natural. Just this morning, Pandora was so animated, sharing her breakfast pastries and getting along with everyone. But now all signs of life were erased, leaving a cold semblance of her person. I tried to work through the nerves by asking the others their thoughts on the situation. That is, if anybody had anything to say. Investigation commence. Okay, interesting. Alright. I am a bit Yippee. So I think I'm gonna go take a nappy poo. I may or may not be back tonight. We'll see. My whole circadian rhythm is off from waking up this morning and then taking my pills. So all right, y'all. Love you guys. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more better at more high energy. We'll see. Alright, love you guys as always. Ciao. This is interesting. We'll probably keep playing.
Oh my goodness.